There we go. All right, here we go. Oh, I hope I'm not bleeding. Ish. That wasn't fun. I don't even remember. I don't even know what I hit this. Something while I was trying to plug in my headphones. About all I got. Bizarre. No, I do not need you to start things. You can do that later. There we go. Got myself all up. Got myself good. Yeah, looks all right. I'll take it. I'll run with it. I'll take it and run with it. Excuse me. I think that's all good. Yeah. All right. Okay. How's everybody doing? If anyone's here already, hello, welcome. Not, I'll welcome when you get here. You won't see it, you won't hear it, but I said it. I have to send another email before anything else. Give me my damn back, please. I'm not even pleased at this. Give me my damn money. There we go. There we go. Why is my laptop? What is my laptop? I don't know why it's doing this. Why is it stop? Just stop being so much of a Hmm. Okay. Laptop. Where? Give me like stress right now. Kill. Okay. Alright. Okay. Hmm. I figure out the best way to phrase this. Hmm. Hmm. Nope. That's not how you spell people's names. Nope, that's not how it works. Okay. Sent. It's done. I can close that. Nope. All right. This. I'll check some of my things here. This game, I tell you guys, this game, such a yep. For some reason, it removes all compatibility settings every single time that I run it. It will not frickin' change. I've already done this. Every time. Oh, I don't know. Is that gonna work or it won't, I guess. I didn't know this was gonna be the game that just like killed me here, you know? Figured that there would be like an older game that would be even harder to run or something, but like, nah, this is it. 2005. 2005. This game, and then there were none by Agatha Christie. Like, this is the one. Oh, man. Anyway, how are we all doing tonight? Having a good night, I hope. Almost the end of the week. Keep forgetting that. Very easy to forget that these days, I suppose. But today is indeed Thursday. I honestly had it in my head that it was Wednesday for the long time today. Just because I hadn't pulled a page out of my calendar, so I was still stuck on yesterday, and I was like, oh yeah, no, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday the 22nd. It's right here on my calendar. And then, wait, no, all my meetings Thursday calendar. That's not right. Been something. Ugh. Time is an illusion. Everything's going by too slowly, but too fast. But not fast enough. I don't know. It's a mess is what it is. I mean, what do I expect at this point, I suppose? That's just coronavirus experience for everybody, isn't it? Oh well. Well. How are we all doing? Oh wow, my hair looks really hot. Fun. I'm gonna wait just a couple more minutes. Another PayPal scam. All the time. I'm getting them so much more frequently these days. Hmm. Isn't that kind of weird? I don't know why I need to get those particular things so often. We'll wait like a couple more minutes here. Go ahead and just post in Discord a little bit. Say, hey, I'm live. Everybody come join. Something along those lines. Why is this opening like I swear to God. Ugh. Where did my I couldn't even find my own channel. There we go. Oh. Didn't work out. Weird. Sometimes when I post the link in Twitch, post the Twitch link in Discord, it says like, you know, I'm playing whichever game. You know, I have it set up so that it says Agatha Christie's and then there were none. Change that. Double check. Oh, no, it's there. Weird. I don't know. I was very, 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 very happy with how my poster turned out today, especially that like vintage Agatha Christie novel book cover font, the big blocky thing. I managed to find that cool particular era of Agatha Christie novels that actually use that font, and I don't know why, I just really like it. But yeah, are you guys ready for this mess of a game? Because it is something. I had forgotten just how janky it looked until I booted it up to try and, make sure everything worked. And wow. Wow. Like, it. Nancy Drew's model and animations were wooden for a really long time. Somewhat, understandably. It was a really small company doing 3D modeling way, way, way beyond their means and everything. But they got much better real quick. Adventure Company, not saying that they were, a much larger studio. They're still a relatively small company, but like, um, the era of Wood and Nancy Drew games was like really early 2000s, and then it got much better very quickly. By 2002, 2003, it was significantly better. This came out in 2005. You would think that in 2005 it would be okay. It is not. It is not. It looks pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited. Ooh, is that a thunder? Ooh, hopefully we don't lose power. It happened already once this week. I don't need it happening again. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, my hair, big crazy hair moment, but I want it to show a little bit. My hair looks gorgeous. All right, let's get this show on the road, everybody. I don't know that you guys are ready for this. I'm not. This game is the game that taught me um, about what. Yeah, there it is. This is the game that taught me about moon logic. This is really the one. Oh, come on. All right. Pardon the technical issues. Like I said, this is a very finicky and annoying game. Why are you not going through the headphones? I plugged in the headphones for a reason, so that it would go through the headphones. Graphics. Okay, yeah, no, it's this game has decided not to. I've literally been fighting with this all day. I have been fighting with this game all day long. It is tiring to say the least. And you can see exactly what it does to my resolution. This is a very small corner of my desktop. And when it does this, it just like decimates my desktop for some reason. It takes forever for this resolution to recover. I have no idea why. Like, how much money have I spent on this goddamn supercomputer if it can't even handle a change in resolution? What the heck? All right. Okay, I'm gonna go to do this until my computer gets its shit together. Once we get it started, I'm hoping it'll be relatively fine. This is why I'm starting to feel like I kind of like pro thing, so I can just set these up ahead of time. Literally just hit a button, physical button in front of me that changes the scenes rather than fussing with OBS. Oh my god. The Windows crashing now or something? What the hell? Oh, it's changed a bit more. Oh, Now my whole desktop. Oh, there we go. It just resized. Okay. All I need to do is put it so I. All I want. Okay. Okay. All right. Tell me whether you can hear this. Please tell me whether you can hear this. It seems a little loud on my end. No. Oh, nope, that just moved. Oi. Game has no chill, I swear. Hello? Oh my God. Should not be this difficult. Why is the volume not going up? Oh my God. And you're not getting any desktop audio. Oh. Swear to God, I am so very close to just I already now you should at least be getting something. Alright, now you guys are getting I'm not because my speakers apparently. I'm worried that might be a bit loud. I'm gonna turn that down in a minute. When my computer gets its shit together again. I'm not kidding. I have been fighting with this game all day, and I was hoping it was just going to work now because I thought I had gotten it all settled, and apparently I can't have nice things. So oh, now it's okay. I hate this stupid fucking thing. Ah! Come on. Thank you, Lord Melvin, for subscribing while I fuss with this fucking thing. Okay. Have it at 30. All I need. Here. And it's fine. And turn it back here. Open this up. And we're gonna fuss with the settings. Alright, we're good. We're done. That way you should be able to hear me a little better. Ah! Seriously, the hoops that I have had to go through to get this freaking game moving. It is embarrassing almost. But we are here. We can start. I just want to double check and make sure you're all prepared for what's about to happen. Because it's gonna be, yeah, get ready. Here we go. God, I feel like I need a drink.
I hope my son's antics don't disturb you.
Madam, were it in my power to sentence him to 30 days hard labor, they would not disturb me in the slightest.
And the voice acting is just so top-notch.
Smashing day for it. On holiday?
No.
That train car is empty, and if you don't want to talk to people, why are you sitting right across from someone?
Leslie, it isn't true. Oh, beg pardon, ma'am.
Miss.
Yes, of course, yes. Have to be, wouldn't it?
Wow, what a dick. Oh look, there's even a little lens flare, look at that. lens flare didn't move, but there was lens flare. I'm trying not to make too much fun of this. It is 2005, but like these models are like really bad.
Damn fool. I suppose I'll be expected to tend to his wounds after he piles up, and for no fee at that.
It is a really long cutscene, though. So yeah, just settle in and enjoy.
No one injured, at least. No apparent damage to the cars. Young fool must lead a charmed life.
That's the lot. My money's on the servants. The servant's usually always the guilty one in the end.
I know they're supposed to be cryptic, but like everything feels so disjointed.
Welcome to Sticklehaven, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Davis, the Harbour Master.
Sorry. Waiting for me.
That lens flare. There's
That's
so
everyone
much
then.
lens flare.
The other bags are already on board the boat there.
Blimey. It must be him. In the flesh.
All set, Nericot?
Ready, sir.
Right. I'll leave it to you then. Sea's calm. Should be a pleasant crossing. If you leave now, there's a squall coming. I can smell it.
I also see it, but that's okay. Okay, this is a weird thing for me, but look at how long this boat is. It's a really long-looking boat, okay? We're gonna come back to that in a minute.
Why is it called Shipwreck Island?
Well, the weather can turn nasty quickly. There are many submerged rocks, lots of wrecks hereabouts, and that big rock at the tip is said to resemble a beached schooner. The locals call it Ship Rock.
You're not from around these parts, then, Mr. Narracott?
No, sir, I'm not.
I mean, it just looks like a sinking ship in the first place.
It'll never work.
Welcome, welcome. This is some prime.
If you would be so good as to
feel like
follow
this
that
game is
path up
dated.
to the house, my wife will show you to your rooms. I expect you'd all like to freshen up after your journey. Where's Fred?
Under the weather. I took his place.
You'd be the brother then. I see the
When
resemblance.
I first
Will you help me with the bags?
Yes. I've been hoping to get a look at the house.
when I first started this and watched this whole cutscene, I was convinced that something was
Chapter
wrong
1.
with the
10
audio.
little sailor boys went out to dine. One choked his little self, and then there were 9.
Good morning. Thank
Thank you for your
coming.
assistance, Mr. Narracott. Everything and everyone nicely in place. I must say, I don't much like these clouds.
I
expect you should be
was
heading back without
convinced
delay.
that something was wrong with the audio, and it was just like clipping, like the ends of each
Now it
sentence just a
begins.
little bit.
Don't worry,
But
Fred.
that's just
I won't
that's
let
just
you
the
down.
VA. That's what they all sound like.
Just a drizzle. It's going to get much worse.
And I love that they've just got the talking animation. They just go mom, 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 mom. They just chew. I forgot so much about this game. Oh my god. I can make him run so he can not be here this whole
The
time.
grass is slippery and the slope is steep. I'd best stick to the path.
Oh, the game is louder again? Okay, hold on. I can fuss with that. I just really want to not have to go back to my desktop. Alright, tell me about this. Is this alright? Because I don't know if you guys were here for when... Oh, yeah, well... Boats, not really...
Damn thing's wrecked. No chance of returning to the mainland now.
Not really there. Well, guess we better go back up to the house, I suppose.
The sea looks daunting. Wouldn't want to be caught out there without a good motor.
This game has been such a frustration for me today. I'm glad I still wanted to play it. Okay, it is better, alright. Let me know if it can even be better, because I can change it. It's just gonna take a little bit. You might have to wait a little while for my computer to... I don't even know what it does.
I should tell Rogers about my little boat misfortune.
Oh, you won't even let me. Alright, yeah, we're on rails for the minute, I guess. Also, I'm liking this, like, this very 1920s craftsman mixed with prairie style Frank Lloyd Wright manner thing.
Mr. Narracott, why are you still on the island?
Someone scuttled my boat.
Scuttled? Wrecked, you mean? But who on earth would do such a thing?
I intend to find out.
Oh.
But that means, who will come for us on Monday?
Unless this storm lets up, no one.
Dear me, dear me. Come in, come in. You'll catch your death out here.
Yeah, the chicken. Oh.
I must help my wife prepare dinner. I'll have her fix you up something in the kitchen.
Thank you.
Couldn't possibly have you eating with a
Where
guest.
he's going to sleep, I'll never know. Ethel won't like this one bit.
Fresh flowers. Quite pretty.
Okay. Lepto starts. Here we go.
It's an albatross. I can't say I'm particularly fond of the painting. The subject matter doesn't interest me. A radiator. You can't have enough of them, really. It's a rather
Really?
ostentatious painting. I can't see anything of interest. A place for everything, and everything in its place.
He's a remarkably posh, working class Brit.
10 little sailor boys. Charming.
Well, that's important.
It's a rather ostentatious painting.
I wouldn't hold my breath, to be honest. I think this game has a lot of false flags. Oops.
No need to call unnecessary attention to my snooping.
Why not? Oh, well. No need to call unnecessary attention to my snooping. We're just going to take these
I don't need to lug this around with me.
Why not?
I shouldn't do that. I need to have my wits about me. I shouldn't do that. I need to have my wits
Drained,
about me.
bitch. We'll have like half a thing of Coke left, and I'm very, very, very convinced that I might just go get a thing of rum, because I'm going to need it for this game, aren't I? No. No.
It's got power, but it still doesn't seem to be working.
Because it doesn't have any radio tubes. The tubes.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Alright, no idea why, but we wrote it down into a notebook that he happens to have with him. This is the poem that this whole thing is going to be based on, by the way. This is particularly interesting because the original title of the book that this is based on was 10 Little N-Words. And then it got changed to 10 Little Indians. That's still not good. Though for the game, Or I think even maybe for most modern adaptations at this point, it's 10 little sailor boys, which is much better. They all still die. Oh, I think some of them are 10 little soldiers. Well, sometimes they change it to soldiers. I think even within Agatha Christie's lifetime, they changed it out of that because she was ultimately not comfortable with it. It's a thing. It was, like, if you weren't comfortable with it, why did you write it in the first place? But, you know. Why aren't you... Can't go around the couch, apparently. Like, that's impossible for him to traverse.
You're shot, Judge.
Yes. You haven't left me much, I confess.
I knew judges listened to confessions. I never knew they made them as well.
Oh, some judges may have cause. Some doctors as well, I expect.
Oh, they're so funny.
May I ask you a question?
You'll spoil the shot if you're not careful.
That's a no. It's snooker, not pool.
May I
I
interrupt
don't
for a
actually
moment?
know how to
I can't
play.
talk and play, Mr. Narracott. Right now,
Snooker.
I prefer to play.
What a dick. Who's a dick? Dick.
Locked.
It's locked. So yeah, it's played on a pool table, and it's still billiards, but I don't know exactly how you
It's
play
locked
it.
fast.
But it's definitely like a different game.
The door is locked. An upstairs-downstairs type of thing, I imagine.
Well, Sonny boy, you're technically downstairs, sweetie. Oh, cutscene to climb the stairs, I guess? Oh, that one opened. Oh, it's a bathroom. Okay, well, this is a bathroom.
I don't think going through that would help. Either he's innocent, in which case I'd be grossly invading his privacy, or he's guilty, and surely wouldn't be daft enough to leave any evidence in his luggage.
Guilty or innocent of what, though?
A radiator. You can't have enough of them.
Nothing's happened yet. I'm not even actually sure what I'm supposed to be doing at this moment.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Dear Mr. Armstrong, you come highly recommended to me by your esteemed colleague, Dr. William Weathersby of Harley Street. I have a great favor to ask. My wife's health appears to be deteriorating. She has for many years now been plagued by arthritis of a very severe sort, and more recently I've observed straight global muscle spasms. I am unable to complain, and she won't hear of seeing a doctor. Join us for our weekend house party we have planned for August 8th at the home Shipwreck Island in South Devon. Please send us a check of £200, a small initial retainer. I know you will be able to help her. I promise your efforts will not go unrewarded. Sincerely, U.N. Owen. Henry Bloor. He was the man who framed my brother. I'm certain of it. I mean, maybe. That's true, I guess. Perhaps. Nothing else? Alright.
Nothing out of order in here. I'd best not take anything, though. I'm sure he would notice.
That's not fair time. I hope I don't need it.
I can't open it. It's locked.
It's locked. Classic. It's locked.
It's tightly locked.
It's tightly locked. He has so many different...
I can't open it. It's locked.
This is like the third different one that he said.
It's locked fast.
Fourth.
Locked.
So varied. Oh, I can peek through the hole. This is... Sure, I'm fine. Sure. Well, that's...
My wife is indisposed, not receiving visitors today.
Your wife, sir?
What?
Your wife?
My wife?
Yes. Jill and Joe and...
Leslie. I'm sorry, my boy. I was wool gathering, miles away. My apologies. Must dress for dinner now. Send my orderly to me if you will. No, that's not right. What was I thinking? I must get ready for dinner now.
Okay.
A radiator.
He really is.
You
just
can't
gonna...
have enough of them, really.
A radiator. You can't have enough of them, really. It's a radiator.
Yes? Oh, Mr. Narracott, I had a question for you. Have you heard anything in Sticklehaven about this house being set up as a guest house?
I don't think he is okay, no.
No, Miss Brent.
No. Mrs. Rogers hasn't either. And who are the Owens?
I haven't met them yet.
Would it surprise you to learn neither have Mr. and Mrs. Rogers? It's odd. Very odd. If you'll excuse me, Mr. Narracott, I must make dinner preparations.
Nobody is okay. This is very true. This is very true.
Oh, Mr. Narracott, I thought that you'd left us.
Someone scuttled my boat.
Oh, but that's dreadful. Surely the harbour master will send another boat when you're missed.
Not in this storm, I'm afraid. And even then, it won't be reported.
Why ever not?
My brother. He knew I might not be immediately back.
I'm terribly sorry for your trouble.
Oh,
the Owens should be arriving
I mean,
shortly.
this house
I'm
is
sure you can get a
already
ride back in
eccentric
that
as
boat.
hell.
If you'll excuse me, I must get ready for dinner.
Like I mentioned, it's like this weird mix of like 20s craftsman, and the interior is Art Deco, but the exterior is a mix of like 20s craftsman and Frank Lloyd Wright prairie style on an island in Devon. Like, it's just bizarre. Oh my god, yeah, no. Agatha Christie novels, the person who is most okay is absolutely the person who has done it.
Storm's getting pretty
Whoever's
fierce.
got their chill
Somebody
and
scuttled
cool
my
for the
boat.
whole time.
I saw
There
Blore
it is.
watching you like a hawk eyes its dinner. Could it have been him? Possibly. Any idea why? I'd rather not say. Suit yourself. I'd better get ready for dinner.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep breaking into people's rooms. Stealing their stuff. My personal favorite thing is
I
that
copied the contents into my
get
notebook.
the letters and I can't read them. I have to copy them, but that doesn't just automatically happen. Floor's letter. XAID man, private detective, highly recommended, wife's jewels, she won't keep them locked in the safe. House party's got me worried, join the house party. Pose as a guest, keep your eyes. Ulrich Norman Owen. And yet again, we have a very odd invitation. Oop! Well.
Once a bent copper, always a bent copper. Right, Fred?
You're talking through your hat. You were the Purcell gang's inside man on the force, not my brother.
Your brother? Don't try to kid me, Fred. There's still a handsome reward out for you.
Fred is my brother. I'm Patrick Fane.
No reason for me to believe you that I can see. There's still a big reward out for Fred Fane.
You scuttled my boat to trap me here.
You recognized me, too. I saw it in your eyes.
Only because Davis showed Fred the passenger list yesterday. I came in my brother's place. We didn't think you might mistake me for him. Fred is 8 years older than me. Look closely, Blore.
Look closely.
You do look young. I noticed that.
Look closely.
Thought it must be the sea air.
You were taking the Purcells' bribes for years. After the Landor case, people began to ask questions. The Purcells needed what the Yank detective novels call a fall guy. My brother was framed. You were in the clear.
Your whole story sounds like a detective novel.
There's a lot
I've
of
never
drama
stopped trying to
happening
clear
right
Fred's
now.
name and put you in Dartmoor prison where you belong. Thanks to your greed, I may now have that chance.
Maybe you're Patrick, maybe you're Fred. I don't know, and I don't much care. You're either a criminal, or you've been harboring one all these years. I wonder what my fellow
I feel like
guests
they're
will
having
think of
different
that.
conversations.
Go on, Mr. Narracott. Hop it. I need to prepare for dinner.
Old men can't use eyes.
Leave before I remove you myself.
Anything here useful?
This window leads out to the balcony.
Then open it. Okay,
It's locked fast.
fine. Alright, I went out through the bathroom and I gotta come back into this guy's room and be like, alright, sorry, I just had to use your bathroom real quick. I know you wanted me out, but I just need to use this real quick. Hold on. And this guy's again, yeah. Alright. Okay, we have no... There must be something I haven't seen yet. Where are the kitchens? Wouldn't they be over here? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Not crazy.
It'll never work, I tell you. We should never have agreed. A house party only a week after we arrive? And no other help?
Ethel, calm yourself.
You promised me. Never again, you said.
How was I to know? Oh, Mr. Narracott. Ethel will be preparing you a meal in here once the guests are served.
Alright. Just take that too.
It's a sturdy cast iron stove. It's a sturdy cast iron
Shit, we
stove.
need to hear it again, sweetie.
Mr. Rogers, I was wondering if I might have a word.
Perhaps you'd find one of the guests with more free time to chat. None of them are doing any work.
That sounded a little passive-aggressive to me.
It's a press. Looks like it can hold quite a large amount of fruit.
That's why I find it even funnier that he's... Oh. Take it. Take it.
I don't need to lug this around with me.
Why not,
I don't
though?
need it. And I'm no pack rat.
Honey, do you see your fucking inventory? You're no pack rat. You picked up a cane, 3 cocktail glasses, a cocktail shaker, a bunch of matches, a random wire basket, a turkey baster, and a cheesecloth. Tell me that you fucking...
Nothing a little elbow grease can't undo.
Elbow grease. You just took a piece of cloth and unwrapped the cheese out of it. Fucking Jesus. Okay.
I don't need it. And I'm no pack rat.
Just don't even know what to say at this point. Yeah, I don't need it. I'm no pack rat. Picks up scoop and puts it in pocket. I'm no pack rat. Honey, do you see yourself? Do you see this?
The refrigerator hardly seems large enough for a house of this size.
Where did... What's her face go? The turkey baster is definitely for later. You don't want to know what it's for, but it's for later. Oh, this was me their room. No. Oh. Dumbass. Alright.
I copied the contents into my
A
notebook.
letter for Rogers. What do we got? Mrs. Owen and I will be detained in London this evening. Please do the best you can in our absence. My good lady tells me she wanted the roast for dinner with potatoes and vegetable and the treat with tart for dessert. You'll find everything you need in the pantry, then serve drinks afterwards in the front parlor. Already have the gramophone record. Please play the side labeled hello once everyone is comfortably settled in the parlor. We'll be along as soon as possible. That's interesting. Hello. Thank you for clipping that. Packet of sewing needles. And another letter. Oh,
I copied the contents
even
into
the
my
Rogers
notebook.
got an invitation. Little house party, 8 guests, well stocked, nah, early Friday. Ulrich Norman Owen. Again. Poop in the bathroom. In the bath. This is a really nice bathroom. Feels important. Oh, but I can't click on anything. Oh, that's where that goes.
Would you just look at all these silk sheets? All embroidered GS. I'll bet that was that actress who used to live here. I've dropped them on this filthy floor.
Can I give you a hand, Mrs. Rogers?
Thank you, Mr. Narracott. You seem like a good sort. I'm sorry for your boat.
That sounds like the dinner bell.
Mr. Narracott, unfortunately, we are not prepared for your presence at dinner. I would be most happy to deliver you a sandwich later this evening, if that will do.
I thought
That
you
will be
said
fine,
I would
Roger.
just be
Thank
able
you.
to eat in the kitchen. I can't even do that
If you
now.
will excuse me, I must get to serving.
We'll deliver
By
you a
all means.
sandwich at the place where you can't sleep because we don't have any beds for you either.
I can hear them all in the dining room chattering. I can't quite make out what they're saying. This might be a good time to explore the house more thoroughly.
By explore the house more thoroughly, you mean snoop and steal everything. All their shit. They really do keep pushing me out. Just like, no, we will deliver you a quite delightful PB&J.
These are very expensive linens. I bet they're very strong.
These are very expensive linens. I'll just take some. On the shittiest breads because we don't even have good bread for you. You're just the ferryman.
I don't need to lug this around with me.
He's at it again.
I can't see anything of interest.
Oh, it's a pouch at the back. I thought it was another letter. Whoop. Okay.
It's a marble sculpture of an elephant. It would certainly be noticed if I rifled through his luggage.
Honey,
I
you're
better not.
literally taking his possessions. What do you mean it would be noticed if you went through his luggage? It's going to be noticed anyway.
I copied the
Oh my
contents
God, this
into my
guy is
notebook.
the most brilliant. Who's this? Wargrave? Okay, yeah. Lawrence. Back in England, marvelously odd, thoroughly modern home, Shipwreck Island. Da-da-da-da-da. Constance Culmington. That's not. The Owens. Wait a minute, did I just see like a...
Nothing out of order in here. I'd best not take anything, though. I'm sure he would notice.
Oh wait, no, I wanted to go in there. That's the guy who kicked me out of his room.
I transcribed the pertinent passages in my notebook.
Okay, I was gonna say you're just gonna take his notebook and then... Huh. This is just not much. Nothing there. Alright. Basically, he's a dickbag, which we already kind of knew. So, moving on, I guess. Alright, I don't know whose room this is. Another letter.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Oh, agreement. Okay.
I don't think going through that would help. Either he's innocent, in which case I'd be grossly invading his privacy, or he's guilty, and surely wouldn't be daft enough to leave any evidence in his luggage.
Alright, I will not click on the luggage anymore, because apparently that's going to be the same line that he runs every single time. I can't ever look in the luggage, I just get to hear about the luggage. And specifically, hear about how we shouldn't open it.
I'd almost swear I recognize that chap. Does he have the eyes of a killer?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I think I recognize this lady. Perhaps she owned the house in the past. Who knows? She may still. I copied the contents into my notebook.
Vera. Dear Miss Claythorne, Una Nancy Owen. Interesting. I mean, ghosts at this point might be...
This is a fairly sparse makeup case. Vera isn't the type to use much makeup, though.
Okay.
That's an interesting clock. A shame it doesn't seem to work. I copied the contents into my notebook.
It's really annoying. I copied the contents into my notebook. Oh, I want to just read the damn thing. Okay. Bill Hamilton, age 8, drowned in a swimming accident on the coast near Plymouth, watched by his governess, Miss Vera Claythorne, but swam out too far before he could be stopped. Police would question her and the child's brother, Bill Hamilton, age 24. Present at the time, both were found innocent of negligence. Goes on to mention funeral arrangements and questions. None of this is my concern. Fair enough. What you see isn't always the truth. What you see isn't always the truth. What is that?
I see nothing remarkable.
Alright, not doing anything with the Bible, fair enough.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Alright, what do we got? Brent, Emily Brent. We're together at Belhaven Guest House. Guarding a guest house of my own on an island off the coast of Devon. None of this nudity and gramophones half the night. I don't know, nudity and gramophones, where is that and how can I get there? UN Owen again.
This is quite a makeup supply. Emily must be more concerned with aging than she lets on.
Won't click on it. Click on it. I won't click on the luggage. Luggage tells me nothing.
Various toiletries. Nothing of interest that I can see. Various toiletries.
Oh, shut up.
Nothing of interest that I can see.
I don't know what I just picked up. Stem to an old pipe. Ah, here we go. Hold on, wait.
Let's hope that holds.
Hey, I've got a pipe now. Una peep.
This could use a closer look.
What may concern Miss Emily Caroline Brent, extremely allergic to insect stings, bees, and wasps. Epinephrine dosage on the label must be injected immediately should she be stung. Professional Yeah, nothing interesting there.
I'm guessing Ethel went through the trouble of supplying most of the rooms with fresh flowers.
Alright. Go to the major's room. There's always a major there. major or a colonel. Always one of the two. Men of military rank, they all speak like this.
I copied the
Talk about
contents
their
into my
days back in
notebook.
the war. Alright. Oh, he's a general. I'm sorry, general. Odd. Not really interesting, but odd.
It appears to be a portrait of the general. Must be quite old. He's standing with a very young woman. It's signed, "To John, my husband, Leslie."
I mean, it's sad, but not particularly noteworthy.
This bears a closer look.
Coded message. Huh. I actually am having trouble reading that. Can I make that bigger on the screen? Doesn't really tell me anything either. Hold on to it, I guess, for now.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Information, here we go. Oh, this one has to just, there's a particular accent that you've got to put on in order to read this one. Tony, get out your dinner jacket and polish your shoes. I've nosed an invitation for us for August 8th weekend. The Owens, you don't know them. New money, I'm afraid. Oh. Well, they do well in drinks and dinner, and there are usually a few sweet young things about to spice up the scenery. You can try out that new motor of yours on the winding lanes of Devon. I'll be along later. If you don't pile it up again, get thee to Sticklehaven. Just head south till you hit water. Boat will be waiting. Your never humble servant, Badger Berkeley. Oh, chap, my goodness, we've got quite an evening ahead of us, don't we? Ooh, yes. Fucking.
Nothing else to see about that.
Are you sure? Oh, what's this?
This
code-breaking cipher.
Look.
King James, Song of Solomon III. Ooh, okay. King James Bible.
I see nothing remarkable.
Oh, I need you. Okay. I just. Yep.
This is certainly a clue of some sort.
So much mental work, so much puzzle. It's so good. I literally just. Okay.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Didn't have to work at all. Literally just did everything for me, pretty much. Alright, what's this decoded message then? Marston, submarine in place, continue to objective. Secure beacon on buoy off west shore. Make certain homing engaged. Red light must blink. Additional search island for signs of British intel. Agent reported safe in house with combination L28 R11 L49. Ports test base for new weapon in grotto. Access point unknown. Investigate. Signal when you're ready for pickup. Zig Heil. End. Well. I mean, I know that his little thing there said right-wing politics. He probably wouldn't be fighting in the next war with Germany, but like, he's a Nazi. Woo! It's getting spicy. This is a spicy party. I'm sad I'm not in on dinner right now. All right, well. Why am I looking at this? Open it. Why won't he open it? He won't open it. Okay. This game's got everything. Ah. absolutely nothing out here. Okay. I'm very, very tempted to just barge in and be like, that man's a Nazi!
Aha! With my ear against the door, the conversation becomes quite clear.
Wine, Doctor?
No, thank you, Rogers. I never touch alcohol. Except for sterilizing wounds or instruments, of course.
I tried to collect some apples from an orchard on the island, but a bee stung me. I'm afraid I dropped the basket and ran. No need to apologize. I myself am dreadfully allergic to bees, wasps, hornets. I'm sorry to hear there are bees here.
Oh, you must take care. There's all sorts of those bee house things. What do you call it?
An apiary.
Oh, I thought that was for monkeys.
Ethel!
Miss Claythorne, we've never met, but I do seem to recall your name.
Oh?
Yes, from when I stayed at that stuffy old hotel near St. Trednick. Do you know it?
No. No, I don't think so.
Really? How extraordinary. I was so sure.
Narracott says he's not Fred Fane, but his brother. It may well be, but he bears watching.
Seems like such a nice man.
They said the same thing about Stevenson, the child murderer. I
We're
confess
talking
I've
about
never
what
met
the
our
fuck?
host, Mr. Owen. What kind of a man is he?
This is such a
Rogers?
conversation, alright?
We haven't seen the Owens either, sir. We were only engaged a week ago by letter and asked to make the house ready.
So no one has actually met the Owens.
How extraordinary.
I, for one, will have some sharp questions for the Owens when they do arrive.
Fascinating. Well, my goodness. We kind of already went over here. We knew. We can go check in the other room over here, I guess. Maybe some of these doors open now? Yeah, okay.
It's a book holder. Seems like a long time since it's been used. Sticklehaven. Hopefully I'll live to see the place again. Those currents appear quite deadly. That's Shipwreck Island.
Okay.
A rather beautifully made globe of the world. Wargrave on Justice. I can only imagine the egotism that lurks within those pages.
No secret bookcase? Birding on Devon Shores.
Property of Teresa Robson. I transcribed the interesting passages into my notebook.
Alright. It's literally just a thing about birds. Birds and birding. Alright. Well. Go off, I guess.
The drawer is locked.
Just gonna take everything off of this. Alright, so.
There.
Yep.
Back to their original state.
Is that their original state, sweetie? Sweetie, sweetie? Got like this inventory filled with just stuff.
This bears a closer look. This could use a closer look.
Want to shine some light on the matter. Flowery speeches may win you a few friends. Odd.
I see nothing remarkable. The drawer is locked.
Still not a secret bookcase. They're just gonna take all these books, though. Literally grab the table lamp.
I
Take it.
transcribed the pertinent passages in my notebook.
No idea what. Okay, safe passage to the South Sea Islands and navigating the Panama Locks.
I transcribed the pertinent passages in my
I
notebook.
don't care about Panama right now. Door. Door. None of that made any sense.
That looks like the jetty here on the island. He looks quite happy. She a little less so.
Oh, another book. A diary.
Normally, I would never violate someone's privacy this way. However, given the circumstances, I will examine the entries for clues and transcribe any passages I find pertinent.
Robson's diary. All right. Oh, here we go. Wait a minute. You could not find a more cliched. I think that's supposed to be cliched. There's supposed to be an E here. Way to conceal a secret passageway. The albatross is the most graceful bird in motion. A photograph does it absolutely no justice. Okay. Interesting. History.
I transcribed the pertinent passages in my notebook.
Shipwreck Island, due to its isolated nature, became a base for smuggling and wrecking operations. Interesting. Gang smugglers and wreckers lived in stone huts on a cove, the southwestern side of the island, rumored to be a system of natural caves the gang used to throw their plunder within. Okay. We're talking. Now we're talking.
The storm is kicking up something fierce. Besides, my time would be better used snooping around inside at the moment.
What am I supposed to do next? I don't really know what this. Gone into everybody's rooms. Oh, this one.
Not that I'd want to play, even if there was time. I've no talent for the game whatsoever. Interesting ashtray. Birds everywhere.
I thought they said that there was a passage.
It's locked fast.
No. Fuck me, alright. It's something. Ears! Girl.
It's an albatross. I can't say I'm particularly fond of the painting. The subject matter doesn't interest me. Aha! With my ear against the door, the conversation becomes quite clear.
Did anyone else see the poem over the fireplace?
10 Little Sailor Boys? Yes, I saw it.
And here before us as the centerpiece of our table are the 10 little sailor boys themselves, all looking correct and polished.
I like a neat and tidy house, Your Honor.
Robson, the man who built this house, was a sailor. Perhaps Mr. Owen inherited them from him.
Another question for Mr. Owen.
As I remember, the rhyme was about soldier boys. Highly inappropriate, as I recall.
There are many variations.
You seem to know quite a bit about it, Miss Claythorne.
I was a governess
her
before
hair
seeking
helmet.
secretarial work. Governesses spend a lot of time with nursery rhymes.
All gratuitously gruesome, if you ask me. So much violence in the world today.
Sometimes violence is necessary, Miss Brent.
There speaks a soldier for you.
A realist, Miss Brent, not a dreamer. If action needs to be taken, I, for one, am fully prepared to take it.
How does the famous rhyme go, Miss Claythorne?
Must we harp on this topic at dinner?
Miss Brent may be right, Mr. Marston. The rhyme is a bit gruesome. It's there over the fireplace in the parlor if you care to have a look later.
If you think so. Excellent meal, Rogers. My compliments to both you and your good woman. You've done your employers proud.
Thank you, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Most gratifying, I'm sure. After dinner drinks will be served in the front parlor.
Ah, there we go. Okay, that's how we end. Let's say.
Ladies and gentlemen, silence please. This is your host, UN Owen. You are charged with the following indictments. Edward George Armstrong, that you did upon the 14th day of March 1925 cause the death of Louisa Mary Cleese. Emily Caroline Brent, that upon the 5th of November 1931 you were responsible for the death of Beatrice Taylor. William Henry Blore, that you brought about the death of James Stephen Landor on October 10th, 1928. Vera Elizabeth Claythorne, that on the 11th day of August 1935 you killed Cyril Ogilvy Hamilton. Philip Lombard, that upon a date in February 1932 you were guilty of the death of 21
welcome dreaming.
men.
Yes, I
members
actually
of an
have
East
many
African
years ago,
tribe.
though.
John Gordon Mackenzie, that on the 4th of January 1917 you deliberately sent your wife's lover Arthur Richmond to his death. Anthony James Marston, that upon the 14th day of November last you were guilty of the murder of John and Lucy Combs. Thomas Rogers and Ethel Rogers, that on the 6th of May 1929 you brought about the death of Jennifer Brady. Lawrence John Wargrave, that upon the 10th day of June 1934 you were guilty of the murder of Edward Seaton. Prisoners at the bar,
less upset and
have
more
you
like
anything to say in your
indigestion.
defense?
Doctor! I only fainted, Rogers. I'm sure she'll be fine. Narracott, you get my bag from my room?
Yes, of course.
Stout fellow. Marston, in a moment I'll want help to get her to her room.
Of course.
Behind the kitchen, is it, Rogers?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. You can use that door.
Another cutscene to walk up the thing. Okay. Oh. No. Oh yeah, no, it looks absolutely awful. But I remember, I have fond memories of it regardless. I like I said at the beginning of my stream tonight, I really do feel like this game was dated as soon as it came out. It really just seemed like... Yeah, I have definitely seen worse, this is true. So many questionable things.
Perhaps we can talk later. For now, I must see to my patient.
I have your bag, you wanted it, you dick?
Thank you, Mr. Narracott. I am in your debt.
Alright.
Perhaps we can talk later. For now, I must see to my patient.
Didn't you just say that she just fainted? She just fainted, then we're fine.
Now, Rogers,
All
tell
right,
us
here we go.
about that extraordinary voice.
It was Mr. Owen, sir. In his letter, he wrote to me to put it on the gramophone once you were all settled in here after dinner.
That was Mr. Owen's voice?
You doubt that it was?
No. I thought I recognized it. I'm sure I'm mistaken.
A disgraceful practical joke.
You think it was a joke?
What else could it be?
I will need to hear more evidence before offering an opinion.
Mr. Marston and I
Look at this guy
carried
coming
Mrs.
and go,
Rogers to her
"Oh."
room. I gave her a mild sedative. She's resting comfortably.
Whoever it was on that recording, that person knows or has taken the trouble to find out a good deal about us all. He was correct about Seton. I presided at the trial, but all I did was execute a guilty man.
I remember the case. As I recall, there was some talk.
Happily, guilt and innocence are decided by those of us qualified to make a judgment, not by gossip. Of course, there is one omission in that recording. Mr. Narracott, of course. Although to hear Mr. Blore tell it, he might have earned a place on that list, had Mr. Owen been so inclined.
Wow, I feel so attacked right now.
Any truth to the accusation against you?
It's a matter of interpretation, you understand. But I'd have to say, yes.
Will you tell me how it happened?
Elderly woman. Poor devil. I'd been up all night with an emergency case. My nerves were shot, hands shaking. But I had to operate. I had to try and save her. I had a pick-me-up or two to steady myself, but I bungled it. It wasn't the drink, I swear. It was an accident. Could have happened to anyone in my profession.
Put it out.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
Put it out.
Owen sent me a note, asking me to have a look at his wife, who's been suffering from arthritis and muscle spasms.
Oh, I know.
What was the gossip concerning the Seton case?
I'm not one to spread gossip to just anyone about a man as distinguished as Justice Wargrave. If I were certain about it, perhaps. But I'm not.
That is all for now, Dr. Armstrong.
Alright, you fucking Nazi.
Any truth to the accusation against you?
The name sounded vaguely familiar. I expect it will come to me.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
Got a wire from a pal of mine, Badger Barkley. Surprised me at the time because I had an idea the old force had gone to Norway. Told me to roll up here.
That will be all, Marston.
Berkeley.
Any truth to the accusation against you?
There isn't a word of truth in it. Miss Brady was always in poor health. Always. From the time we came to her.
Will you tell me how it happened?
There was a storm, as fierce as the one brewing outside right now when she was taken bad. The telephone was out of order. I went for the doctor on foot, but he got there too late.
Were you mentioned in the will?
Barely. Certainly not what we were led to believe. She was just saying it, you see, to ensure our devotion to her. Beg pardon. I'm not sure what came over me just then. The strain of tonight, I expect, and worry over Mrs. Rogers, of course.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
Isn't that obvious, sir? My wife and I were hired through an agency in Plymouth. Manservant, housekeeper, cook, that's what we are.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers.
Just going around, talking to everybody. Asking them the same
Any
question.
truth to the accusation against you?
I admit it's a ghastly story, but I can't say it's wrong. Owen did his research well.
His
The accusation
name-
is
Voice
absolutely
sounds
true.
familiar. His voice sounds so familiar. That's 2015. Let me see. Here we go. Found the IMDb page. Ah, well, Nolan North is here, so yeah, Nolan North as Patrick Narracott. All right, sure. Greg Ellis as Philip Bard. Greg Ellis. How do I know him?
Will you tell me how it happened?
Oh, it was written up in the papers at the time. A story of self-preservation, pure and simple. A hunting party lost in the bush. The great white hunter checks the food supplies, assesses his chances, and clears out on his own.
Leaving 21 men to die.
Not very Puka Sahib, I'm afraid.
This is gonna kill me. Like, I know his voice. He's been in a lot, but not much that I actually watch or play. He's been in a lot. Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god. DigiShell, are you still in this chat? Are you still in this stream? Because you should recognize this voice. I know you should, because I definitely just clicked. It clicked. Oh man. Oh, it's muffled? Oh shoot. I don't even know what's going on at this point with the audio. I don't know what's going on with this game and the whole thing. I can try fix it.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
Owen's attorney, a man named Archibald Morris, rang up one day. Wanted to give me 100 guineas to join this house party. I was to put myself at Owen's disposal in case my rather specialized talents were required.
I want you guys to guess who this is. Oh yeah, no, it was hell getting it to even work on OBS on any level. Hell, it was hell getting a copy, because I don't know what happened to my original copy. Where's the disc? I ended up managing to buy this off of a seller on eBay from Canada. So this has now gone through international shipping, and it's not even a United States copy. It's a British copy. Because it's got a PEGI rating, it's you know, the flyer on the inside is, you know, games for £9.99. When I played the original game, I was a little more rough on my discs than I was after that. A little too young to be nice about it.
What specialized talents would those be?
You might say I'm a good man in a scrap.
Thank you, Lombard.
God, I'm just having a moment. I know who he is, and it's great. Oh God, I want you guys to know who he is. Ah!
Any truth to the accusation against you?
Fellow got hold of a detestable rumor, nothing more. Arthur Richmond was one of my officers. I sent him on a reconnaissance, he was killed. Natural course of events in wartime.
Good evening, General.
Talk to him again.
Now is not the time for chatter.
I was really hoping that I could. Ah, it's so great. I guess, let's put it this way. Who in the chat has played Dragon Age Inquisition? I'll just drop that right there.
Any truth to the accusation against you?
About that child, Cyril Hamilton. I was nursery governess to him.
Will you tell me how it happened?
I'd like to tell you. Cyril was forbidden to swim out far. One day, my attention was distracted. I couldn't get there in time. It was awful. But it wasn't my fault. At the inquest, the coroner exonerated me. Oh, and his mother. She was so kind. If she didn't blame me, why should this awful thing be said?
Are you sure you're telling me everything?
I'm telling you all I'm going to, Mr. Narracott.
So yeah, I should just hit it at this point. So yeah, Philip Lombard, this guy right here, is voiced by Greg Ellis, who is Cullen from
What brought you here to Shipwreck
Dragon Age
Island?
Inquisition.
I was engaged through the
general.
Skilled Women's Agency to be Mrs. Owen's personal
And
secretary
now
for the
that
remainder
I
of the summer.
heard
Then
that,
I
I
hope
was
to
like,
return to
oh
teaching.
my
A
god,
pleasure as always, Miss Clayton.
got it. I know. Threw me off for a hot minute, I'm not gonna lie.
Any truth to the accusation against you?
I remember Seaton perfectly well. Playwright, not a very good one. Charged with the murder of a chorus girl. He was very ably defended and made a good impression on the jury. Nevertheless, it was clear to me he'd done it.
I appreciate your candor, Judge. Any truth to the accusation against you?
Look, Narracott, if that's what you want to call yourself. The rules have changed. Can't you see that? The past is past. It's the present we should be worrying about. Something is not right here.
That sounded like a deflection.
Will you tell me how it happened?
All right. Perhaps I was doing the odd favor for the Purcells. But if your brother was framed, I had nothing to do with it.
I had nothing
yes,
to
they
do
paid
with
me to
it.
perjure myself about Landor. Thanks to them, I was able to put enough away to set up my own detective agency. Nothing fancy, but I've been straight ever since, I swear.
Landor died.
He got penal servitude for life and died in Dartmoor a year later. Not my fault he was such a delicate man.
What brought you here
Sure.
to Shipwreck Island?
I run a little detective agency in Plymouth these days. I'm on a job. To protect Mrs. Owen's jewels, the letter said. Mrs. Owen, my foot. I don't believe there's any such person.
That is all for now, Mr. Bloor. Any truth to the accusation against you?
Beatrice Taylor was in service with me. Not a nice girl, as I found out too late. Loose. No morals whatsoever.
Will you tell me how it happened?
It was some time before I found out she was what they call in trouble. Her parents were decent folk, too. I'm glad to say they did not condone her behavior when I told them of it.
What happened to Beatrice?
Naturally,
Oh shit, that guy
an
also
hour
voiced
under my
Anders
roof.
in Dragon
No
Age
one shall
Origins.
ever say that Emily Brent condoned immorality.
How did she die?
Not content with having one sin on her conscience, she committed a still graver sin. She took her own life, threw herself in the river. If she had behaved like a decent young woman, she'd be alive today.
You have no regrets?
She made an excellent breakfast. I miss that. Fresh juice every day.
Oh yeah, he's a private dick.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
I received a letter
Dick
with a
for hire.
signature that was not very easy to read. It purported to be from a woman I'd met at a certain summer resort 2 or 3 years ago. I am quite certain I have never met or become friendly with anyone of the name of Owen.
Ah shit. Oh my god, I knew I recognized this person too. Oh my god. Emily Brent, voice actress. She's Dr. Chakwas. And then she was also Keeper Marathari in Dragon Age Origins. Oh my god! I'm just having like a big moment. They got some actual good talent. Wow, then that opening thing was just bad, I guess. Oh, and she's also in the other game too, Murder on the Orient Express. I didn't even realize that. Okay. He was in Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Damn. This is so I'm having too much fun on this IMDb page right now. If there's anything else that like jumps out at me. Not really. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that she did, don't get me wrong. This, oh my god, I gotta play that game. I loved Chakwas. Chakwas is the best. She was the best, honestly. I don't need to click on Nolan North's biography, I really don't. Alright, so Tina Ellman was Vera Claythorne. Oh, she doesn't have much to her name. Okay. Yeah. Not really. Alright, fair enough. And then Philip L. Clark, Judge Wargrave. Doesn't have a whole lot. Bard's Tale, Doom 3. Liberia, there we go. He was in Aladdin, American Tail, Five Will Go West, Evil, Five Will, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show as HAL 9001. Oh wow. G.I. Joe TV series. This is excellent. Oh man. I'm kind of waiting for the HD re-release as well. I almost jumped into it again this year because pandemic, but it's kind of like, hold on a minute. All right, Peter Lavin was Dr. Armstrong. He's been in quite a bit. Elder Scrolls Online, Old Republic, Force Unleashed. I don't really recognize those though. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Dive Bar Patron number 3. Hey, he was in Murder, She Wrote. Alright. Ian Abercrombie played Thomas Rogers and General Mackenzie. Oh, well, there you go. Ian Abercrombie, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Chancellor Palpatine. He was the voice of he's the voice of Chancellor Palpatine. That's awesome. And he did Palpatine in a bunch of Star Wars games as well. Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Somehow I had a feeling that would show up here somewhere. Ooh, he was in Nightfire. Alexander Mayhew. Wow. Wow, he's a really good VA then, because it doesn't sound anything like that at all. Days of Our Lives. This is kind of just a fascinating view into, like, VAs for 90s and early 1000s video games and how small it was. Oh, he was in Addams Family Values as the driver. Alright. Okay. Alright, I gotta move on because I don't want to... I want another Murder, She Wrote. Okay. William Bloor. This guy right here, played by Neil Dixon. What do we got? Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. Alright, fine, whatever. Twin Peaks. Alright. Part 2, Twin Peaks Part 2. Old Republic again. Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Okay. A lot of games that I've played, but not really, like, paid a lot of attention to. Oh, he was in James Bond Everything or Nothing. That's a good... By good, I mean I just played because I'm a James Bond geek, so... Oh, he was in Alias? Alright, okay. This is just really neat. A-Watch. Alright, now we're in like the 90s here, so I will stop. Okay, I'm done, I promise. Just had my fun. Let's go back to talking to Dr. Chakwas.
I overheard you mention St. Trednick to Miss Claythorne.
I have some...
I was staying at a seaside hotel near St. Trednick this same week of August 4 years ago.
I hear it now.
That boy Cyril Hamilton drowned near there. It was the talk of the town. His half-brother was much older.
Yeah,
Hugo, I think his name was.
Oh,
Cyril was a vile child, by all accounts, but first in line for the family title and estates. When he died, it all went to Hugo. He was just about Miss Claythorne's age. There was talk of something between them.
You're suggesting Vera let the boy drown so the man she loved could inherit?
That would be idle gossip. I don't indulge in idle gossip. I've only told you the facts of the case as I remember them.
That is all, Miss Brett.
Do I like talk to other people again, or?
The time for talk has passed.
Oh, okay. Well, if he's here, then I assume...
Interesting history Shipwreck Island has. I studied up on it before I came down.
What are the names of those two people I'm accused of killing?
John and Lucy Combs. I made a note of it.
Must have been a couple of kids I ran over near Cambridge. Beastly bad luck.
For them, or for you?
Wonderful.
Well, I was thinking for me, but of course you're right, sir. It was damned bad luck on them. Of course it was a pure accident. They rushed out of some cottage or other. Beastly nuisance. English roads are hopeless, of course. Can't get up a decent pace on them. Well, anyway, it wasn't my fault.
This is an odd cutscene. He's gonna fucking die. I think he's gonna fucking die. Yep. Look at those fingers, they're sausages.
This man is dead.
And they calmly said, "This man is dead."
Do you think Marston committed suicide?
Yes. In my experience, certain types of individuals, when faced with their sin, will then commit the greater one.
He just died.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Dead.
No.
What do you think that record means?
There is something very peculiar about it.
I won't take up any more of your time, Miss Brent. Do you think Marston committed suicide?
You are
I
the
shouldn't have
weakest
said
link.
Mr. Marston
Goodbye.
was a suicidal type of gentleman at all.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Never clapped eyes on him. And who gave you the authority to question us?
You're under no obligation to answer me. What do you think that record means?
I don't like it. Not one bit. Very queer, the whole situation.
Thanks,
I
Blore.
mean, I'm pretty queer, so of course this whole situation's pretty clear. Honey. Okay. Honey.
Did Marston choke to death?
You can call it choking if you like. He died of asphyxiation right enough.
Was Marston poisoned?
Can't say exactly. Everything points to one of the cyanides. No distinctive smell of prussic acid. Probably potassium cyanide. It acts pretty well instantaneously.
Was there something in the whiskey?
Yes, without a doubt.
Do you think it was suicide?
Seems like it.
That Storm is serving, honey. She is serving it.
Could he have been
I'm
murdered?
so into storms
Not my line
right
of
now.
country. I'm a doctor, not a detective.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Not I. Personally or professionally.
What do you think that record means?
A disgraceful and heartless practical joke, I suppose.
That is all for now, Dr. Armstrong. Do you think it was suicide?
You conduct yourself well, Mr. Narracott, if you don't mind my saying so. Mr. Blore has told us that you are not what you appear, yet you told him you were not a detective.
No, sir. But I've read many detective novels. I even had one of those junior detective kits when I was a boy. Magnifying glass, fingerprint powder.
Qualified.
Junior detective kit. Wonderful.
Ah, an amateur sleuth then. You appear to have something of a gift for it.
I do.
About the suicide, Judge.
I'm not yet prepared to offer an opinion.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
I knew his father, the Duke, and his elder brother. Like so many younger sons of his class, Anthony Marsden was a bit of a wastrel, as you will have gathered.
And a Nazi.
There were other rumors of late, of his dabbling in politics.
Being a
But
Nazi.
this is not the proper forum for that discussion.
What do you think that record means?
May I answer that in a moment after asking a question of my own?
Of course.
Does anyone know Mr. Owen's full name?
My letter was signed only U.N. Owen.
Yes, U.N. Owen. Or, by a slight stretch of fancy, unknown.
Oh.
I'll now answer your question, Mr. Narracott. The
didn't see
name,
that coming.
the recording, the circumstances
I've read
under
this
which
book too
all
many
but
times.
you were lured to this island. I have no doubt in my mind that we have been invited here by a madman, very possibly a dangerous, homicidal lunatic.
Why did you retire, Judge?
I know there was talk about my competence,
Record.
even my ego running wild.
Bump,
But the
bump,
truth
bump.
of it is very simple. My health. A lifetime sentencing my fellow man, and now a higher power has passed judgment on me.
Good evening, Judge.
I'm talking to Cullen, the man I married in Dragon Age Inquisition. Oh, wow, that took way too long.
Do you think Marston committed suicide?
He didn't seem particularly remorseful. Of course, the record might have set him off somehow. A new incident long after the fact may create a strong feeling of guilt or fear. Wouldn't you say, Doctor?
Possible. Quite possible.
Yeah, now you hear it. It's like, whoa, whoa. As soon as I said it, it's like, bam. It's just Cullen. I can't see him with brown hair. I just can't.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Heard of him, but we'd
Oh
never
no,
crossed
I played a
paths.
female
Awesome.
human inquisitor. You can use a mod to do it though.
What do you think that record means?
There is something wrong with this entire weekend, and especially with our host, Mr. Owen.
I believe we're all coming around to that conclusion.
Yes, but I know something you don't, Judge.
What is that?
I recognize the voice on that recording, and it was definitely not Mr. Owen.
Who was it?
Not so fast, Narracott. Not until I think things through a bit more.
Good evening,
All right,
Mr. Long.
sure. Oh, Iron Bull's gorgeous, but and
Do
Freddie
you think
Prinze Jr.
Marston
too.
committed suicide?
You'd never
But-
think he would kill himself. He was so alive.
I had a
When
very
he came down that
particular
hill in his car, he
storyline that
looked-
I was playing in that one.
He looked... Oh, I can't explain.
Especially getting to play female Inquisitor, you know, relatively minor noble, and getting to my personal favorite part of Dragon Age Inquisition is Halam Sharal, and every single time that I play that game, I strive and push to get a 100% court rating every single time. So this is going to be kind of weird, so I will thank you, Herbotsek, for following me, even though I already know you followed me. So, thank you.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Thought pop up on my screen.
No.
Gotta respond
He-
to it. It would look rude otherwise, right?
I'm sure I would have remembered.
Steady, Miss Claythorne. The lad had his faults, you know.
Steady on.
What do you think that record means?
It was unfair, what it said. Very unfair.
You seem to be a remarkably perceptive girl, Miss Claythorne.
Why,
That's
thank you,
all right.
Mr. Narracott.
Is there anything you can tell me about our fellow castaways?
Castaways? You make it sound so...
Romantic?
I was going to say dramatic.
Okay.
Let me see. No
Keep
one
it
has
in your
confided
pants,
any
Patrick.
secrets to me, I'm afraid. Oh,
No, it's totally
except
okay.
one.
No, it's no big
That
deal.
is...
I really don't know you well enough to answer you.
Thank you for your time, Miss Claythorne. Do you think it was suicide?
How dare you? My wife died of natural causes, sir. A long illness, nothing more.
I meant Marston.
Marston? No honor in him that I could see.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
No, I don't think so. Not a military man, I'd wager. Lombard now. He reminds me of someone from my command. But the name wasn't Lombard.
What do you think that record means?
Ugly. After 30 years.
Oh, see, Black
Ugly
Sad
thing to
is
say.
actually on
Thank
my
you, General.
games list.
Where have you been, Rogers?
I went to check on my wife, sir. She is resting comfortably. But I'm afraid I have some distressing news.
Oh?
More?
One of the china figures of a sailor boy has been broken off.
Oh dear.
Chapter 2. 9 little sailor boys sat up very late. One overslept himself, and then there were 8.
Filthy night. I tried to go out to get some more wood for the fire, but the wind drove me back.
A storm like that will keep us all indoors.
My apologies for the accommodations, Mr. Narracott, but all the beds are taken.
Makes one wonder where the Owens were planning to sleep, doesn't it?
A good servant follows instructions, sir. He does not question his employer, unless you'd like to share the deceased's room with the corpse.
This will do fine. Thank you, Rogers.
I'll wish you a good night then, sir.
So wait, why did we put... Alright, but why did you... Okay.
Everyone should be sound asleep by now. Good time for a little stealth work.
Okay, we're gonna do some more Snoopy-Doo moments.
No need to call unnecessary attention to my snooping.
I'm gonna just pick up another...
I can't see anything of interest. Let me examine this further. I wonder what's recorded on this side.
Goodbye.
I shouldn't do that. I need to have my wits about me. I shouldn't do that. I need to have my wits about me. This is neither the time nor the place. I don't think that's appropriate.
Absolutely is. It's a glass, bitch. Thomas Sanders' eye?
That doesn't make sense.
I'm pleased to see at least one of you has thought to turn the record over. Any good house party should include party games. This weekend is no exception. I have devised several little games of the mind to challenge your wits, and I hope you find the rewards for each to be worth the effort. You'll have to discover my little amusements on your own, however. I've scattered them all over this delightful island retreat. I hope that you will find them suitably entertaining.
Okay, that told us nothing.
It's turning, but no sound is coming out. Something must be missing. It's got power, but it still doesn't seem to be working. This is neither the time nor the place. It's got power, but it still doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah, the voice is kind of obvious, isn't it? It's a little unfortunate. I won't say, just in case people didn't get it. Yeah, no. Alright, obviously that's not going to work right now. I mean, I definitely didn't notice the first time I played it. It was a surprise to me the first time I played it. I do remember that.
Wargrave on Justice. I can only imagine the egotism that lurks within those pages.
So, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's like definitely a box right here that I can see. And yeah, that's the hitbox right there. Like, this is the border of it. It looks like a slight more saturated or darker area somehow. Not funny.
It won't help my brother if I'm drowned in the storm. The drawer is locked.
Oh, I missed a book.
I transcribed the pertinent passages in my notebook.
Failing the Florida Keys? Okay. I'm sure, I'm hoping some of that will come in some sort of use at some point.
Interesting ashtray. Birds everywhere.
And do something with it.
It's tightly locked.
Yeah. Do something with the burbs.
Fresh flowers. Quite pretty.
Orbs.
The storm is kicking up something fierce. Besides, my time would be better used sneaking around inside at the moment.
Yeah, but I have no idea what you're looking for. You're snooping, but what are you snooping for? Nothing makes sense yet.
9 little sailor boys.
Well, torch. That's always helpful, I guess. Without batteries, of course. Yeah, but I don't know what clues to look for. Like, he was in the parlor when he was killed, and it was... come on, come on, come on. It was the glass, almost certainly, which I have.
It's too dark to move around in there without stumbling.
This is a weird one.
It's a sturdy cast iron stove. I'll need to wait until the weather lets up a bit.
Oh, this might be where you can look through all the keyholes. That's true.
I don't need to lug this around with me.
Forgot about that mechanic.
It's a full sack of flour. It's too dark to move around in there without stumbling.
Yeah, because there's not much else to do. Alright.
It's really dark up there. I need a light source.
Okay. Where do I find the batteries then? That's the issue. Yeah, I don't know. But it's darker up there, apparently. Something in the kitchen. The only place that I didn't really look too hard in. Let me click on everything because I just figured he would just say the same thing over again.
No need to call unnecessary attention to my snooping. I don't need to lug this around with me. It's a full sack of flour. It's a full sack of flour. seems so obvious in retrospect.
Filling a turkey basted with flour. Yeah. Not what I would call obvious, but...
The flour stuck to bits of it.
Go. And then, from the little bit that I know...
Aha! A fingerprint.
There we go.
I can't get them to fit.
No.
Let me examine this further.
Alright, well now I gotta do the difficulty of getting people's fingerprints.
The refrigerator hardly seems large enough for a house of this size. A place for everything and everything in its place.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that you just have all this stuff and you can just kind of throw it together whenever you want. I might need help on where the battery is, yeah, because I don't think that I'm going to find it particularly easily at this rate. Maybe? Scoop more it's... Why are there batteries in the flour sack? Ugh. Yeah, I will stand by again. This is the game that taught me about moon logic. This was the game. Spider and the goat. That's the one that really hit me. I mean, that's what you use flour for, right? Just...
There are some batteries buried under here.
Why? Why? Why are there batteries in the fucking flour? I don't understand. There are batteries buried in here. I mean, oh god. Okay. Alright. Just gonna rub my eyes for a minute. Okay, alright. Okay. Whew. Sure. Sure.
I should have thought of that sooner.
Fucking idiot. God. Oh, I love absolutely idiotic characters. Player character is somehow less... He's literally just a sock puppet. You are the hand, and he is the sock puppet.
It's locked fast.
I want you to actually, like... Oh, wait, hold on. I can... Bathroom. Yeah?
It's tightly locked.
Okay.
He's as tight as an owl. I expect nothing could wake him up. It would certainly be noticed if I rifled through his luggage. I better not.
Personally, I'm not a huge fan of battery acid flour. Yeah, not really my thing.
No need to call unnecessary attention to my snooping. I won't do that.
This is really fucking creepy. This is some prime...
I find this painting particularly bland.
This is some prime shit right here. Just full-on stalker moment. Well, not that there's anything for me to do in here, I guess.
It's locked fast.
Okay. That was a really long time having to sit and just wait for them to
It's a
finish.
chair. It doesn't look very comfortable.
It's a chair. Chair. Chair, guys.
Another seabird. This one looks like an albatross. Shocking.
There's a thing about an albatross. Opens up secret passage. Jesus.
This clock has stopped.
It's a chair. That is a window. That is a window, sir.
Polished marble spheres and some books. Nothing worth investigating further.
Take the balls. Hold the balls in your hand.
Tile and marble. Quite expensive from the look of it. Tile and marble.
What about
Quite
that bottle that's
expensive
right
from
there?
the look of it. This window leads out to the balcony. A radiator. You can't have enough of them, really.
You really can't.
A hawk with a fish in its talons. The bird theme is starting to get to me.
Sure. Okay. Just put that in my pocket. You know, as you do. All their personal possessions, it won't let me dust them for fingerprints.
I'm guessing Ethel went through the trouble of supplying most of the rooms with fresh flowers. Morning is coming. I'd best get back to my bed.
Okay, sure. Oh yeah, no.
Well, I didn't get much
Narcon
rest,
got
but at
real
least I have
fucking
something to
weird
show
right
for it.
there.
I'd best see if everyone has come down for
What
breakfast.
do you have to show for it? You walked through people's rooms and then took a telescope. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? I mean, at least figure that you could go look at the body. Took a selfie in Vera's room. And I sit at the table with everyone else
If
now.
what Narcon told Vera is true, and mind you, I take anything he says with a grain of salt, then they will not be sending a boat until at least Monday, even if the storm clears.
Wise to remember, Narracot's the odd man out here.
Yes, thanks to you, I believe, Blore.
At least nothing else has occurred.
I hope you are correct, Miss Claythorne.
Captured it
However,
with
I feel
hashtag with
compelled
they.
to draw your
God.
attention to this table's centerpiece.
Now two are broken. How odd.
Ah, Mr. Narracott, good morning. Since Mr. Marsden won't be joining us, there is an extra place for breakfast, although breakfast itself seems to be a trifle behind schedule.
I'm afraid there is no breakfast at present. Mrs. Rogers has not been able to carry on this morning.
What's the matter with the woman? I was promised fresh apple juice this morning.
I must tell you a sad piece of news. Mrs. Rogers died in her sleep.
Well, you're a good doctor, aren't you?
Any theories about Mrs. Rogers' death?
She was a very skittish creature. And she had a shock last night.
I was promised apple juice. She's
Her heart
dead,
certainly
holy
failed
shit.
to beat. What caused it to fail is the question.
Did you hear anything in the night?
No, my sleep was quite restful.
A pleasure as always, Miss Claythorne.
Sure.
Any theories about Mrs. Rogers' death, Judge?
I'm afraid it confirms my opinion that there is something very wrong on this island. It occurs to me that if these two deaths were not suicides or accidents, that Mr. Owen
Did you
may
hear him
very
take
well
the
be
selfie in your
responsible.
room?
If so,
What selfie?
he is
Oh, none.
almost certainly
There's
on
the
this
selfie.
island somewhere.
I agree. I think we should find a way off this island immediately.
Did you hear anything in the night?
I confess I slept fitfully. Marsden's death, the storm, but I heard nothing. Possibly also due to the storm.
Okay, so you didn't. So you
Understand.
didn't hear me come in
Quite
your room and
understand.
watch you while you snored.
Mr. Narracott,
Just checking.
can your boat be repaired?
I doubt very seriously it can be repaired. Mr. Blore did a good job. Steady on. I didn't know then how the land lay, did I?
So you say.
If you find a means of leaving the island or of signaling the mainland, I'm sure we would all be in your debt.
And I'm sure all of us would help in any way we could.
Here, here. We're never going to leave the island. None of us are ever going to leave.
What were you
Well,
hinting at
one of
concerning
you is
Marston's
right.
politics?
Only that he'd become mixed up with some foreigners.
Nazis, just.
I think that's all I'd better say at
Nazis.
present.
I am grateful for your assistance, Judge Wargrave. Any theories about Mrs. Rogers' death?
We know that she consumed something last night. Dr. Armstrong told us so.
That would be called dinner.
Aye, Mr. Lombard?
You gave her a sedative.
A small dose of Trianol, nothing more.
Doctors have made mistakes before.
You're suggesting I accidentally gave Mrs. Rogers an overdose?
Accidentally or otherwise. One death may have been an accident or suicide, but two in the space of a few hours?
Simply outrageous. Man of my standing.
Any more questions, Mr. Narracott?
Did you hear anything in the
Why is
night?
everyone so touchy?
I'm a very light sleeper. In future, I hope everyone will bear that in mind. Yes, several times I heard something.
Well, I didn't,
You
come
didn't
into your
investigate.
room, so it wasn't me.
With a judge, a detective, and an amateur sleuth in the house, you hardly need my poor skills in that line. I prefer to keep watch.
The hunter in his blind?
A good analogy, Judge.
You said you recognized Owen's voice.
I've had time to think it over, and I'm sure I did. I see no reason to share that information with you.
Thank you, Lombard.
Bitch, everybody's in fucking danger, and you're just gonna withhold information at this point? You
What was the
fucking
cause
asshole.
of death?
Impossible to say offhand.
There must be an autopsy.
I certainly couldn't give a certificate without one.
When did you find out?
Rogers roused me at first light. He'd gotten up to light the stove and see to the power generator before waking her. When she didn't respond, he got me.
Can you tell when she died?
Without an autopsy, not for certain, but it must have been some hours ago. The body was, quite cold.
Did you hear anything in the night?
No, although it appears I should have.
Thank you for your time, Doctor.
Was that a dig at me being in his room? I feel like that was a dig at me being in his room.
You're a detective, Mr. Blore. Any theories?
Yeah,
I
bitch.
appreciate you recognizing the fact there's a professional present.
Yeah, and
I'd
what
like
have
to
you
know what
fucking
she
done?
had to eat or drink last night before she collapsed.
Rogers assures me she had nothing whatsoever.
Of course he would say that. But see here. They've done a murder and gotten away with it. Now she's all hysterical, likely to give the show away. She's a danger to her husband. That's what she is.
Oh, I should hardly think a man would do that to his wife.
You said you knew something about the history of this island.
Most of the old stuff can be found in the library. Its more recent history is just as interesting, though. But I'm not inclined to divulge that just yet.
That is
No
all for
one
now,
is
Mr. Blore.
inclined to divulge any information they actually have, which means nothing will get
Any
done.
theories about Mrs. Rogers' death?
I'm sure Mrs. Rogers wasn't to blame. A good, loyal woman.
Oh boy. Are we gonna get the sexism speech?
Did you hear anything in the night?
I thought I heard a voice calling my name. My wife. She died several years ago. I expect it was a dream.
General, you said you thought you recognized Lombard.
Did I? Yes, I expect I did. But I fail to see what business it might be of yours.
Thank you, General.
Oh, alright. Guess you guys don't want to find out who the killer is. That's fine.
Any theories about Mrs. Rogers' death?
Conscience.
What do you mean by that?
She was accused, together with her husband, of having deliberately murdered her former employer, an old lady. You all saw her last night. She broke down completely. The shock of her wickedness brought home to her was too much to bear. She literally died of fear.
Possibly, if there was cardiac weakness.
Call it, if you prefer, an act of God.
Thank you, Miss Brent.
Honestly,
Chapter 3.
Oh,
8
right.
little sailor boys traveling in
The only
One
reason
said
this
he'd stay
works
there,
is
and then
because
there
it's
were
English,
7.
because they're all British. Only British people,
Rogers
I feel
didn't
like,
let his
have
wife's
that
death get in the
low an
way of his
opinion of each
custodial
other.
duties. I assume everyone has gone off on their own pursuits. I should do the same. Hello, Rogers.
Hello, sir. Was there anything you required?
Just looking around. That ham looks
No,
good.
I'm
Mrs.
sorry.
Rogers had a way with hams. Baked, boiled, fried, pickled, en casserole. Always a treat.
When will dinner be ready?
8 o'clock, sir. Or close to it.
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary since you arrived here, Rogers?
Just this, sir. This house is more like
Yeah,
a museum
pickled
than a
ham, I
residence.
guess. A thing.
I've dusted every square inch, and I found articles left behind by many previous owners, including the Robsons, that actress, and even the Admiralty. The only owners who seem to have left no mark at all are Mr. and Mrs. Owen.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. I don't need it, and I'm no pack rat.
Again, we're gonna have this discussion. We get to go outside. Oh. No, take that. No big deal. You just run over those hedges? Back in Monkey Island. Aw, yeah. Aw, shit. This is definitely a look.
Let me examine this further.
Empty promises. Dark memories haunting you. Fuel for pleasant thoughts must be found before all lie in.
I can't walk around carrying an axe. They'll lock me up, or worse.
I mean, why not? Yep, we just... we just took an 8-foot tall ladder, folded it up, and stuck it in our pocket. No big deal. God.
The generator seems to be working fine. The generator seems to be working fine.
Can't walk around with an axe, but I definitely can walk around with a ladder in my pocket. Just break the whole fucking... Oh, this game is too fun. Like, I know why they have to do it, but, like, it's still funny.
Nice to have a break in the weather, although I don't expect it will last.
You don't seem concerned by the 2 deaths.
I remember a text that hung in my nursery as a child. Be sure thy sin will find thee out.
So in some way, Marston's and Mrs. Rogers' sins have found them out?
Of course. I have nothing to fear. I've committed no sin. You, if your story is true, have only been protecting your brother. God's law understands such a loving gesture, even if man's law does not.
What are you knitting?
A shawl for my niece.
It's quite subdued for a girl, isn't it?
A man would say that, of course. She is a modest child, and decent. These colors are most appropriate.
I've committed no sin. I sincerely doubt that, madam.
Have you seen Rogers?
He's in the kitchen, I think, preparing a cold supper.
I won't take up any more of your time, Miss Brent.
I'll go back in the house real quick, see if there's anyone else we can talk to. Ooh. Ah!
I asked Rogers what this Miss Brady had suffered from. In a certain form of cardiac trouble, when an attack comes on, an ampule of amyl nitrate is broken and inhaled. If amyl nitrate were withheld...
I see. No positive action must be taken. No arsenic to obtain and administer. Nothing definite at all.
And nothing could be proved against Rogers or his wife.
I like how he doesn't have
It explains
eyes.
our situation here quite neatly. There are crimes that cannot be brought home to their perpetrators by the usual methods.
A judge taking advantage of his position?
What's wrong?
No
Oh, he
offense.
does have eyes. I saw them blink.
A doctor under the influence letting a scalpel slip? No offense, Doctor. The point is, it explains Mr. Unknown. He has, for reasons only he knows, decided to seek justice for certain crimes as he sees them.
And who among us is the only one that stands unaccused?
Ah, Mr. Narracott, right on cue.
Get it? They're playing snooker, so on cue.
Have you seen any of the others?
I believe Mr. Blore and Mr. Lombard are off searching the island for Mr. Owen.
You didn't want to join them?
They are men accustomed to physical activity. I prefer to search for the truth with my mind.
Me too.
You think they'll find Mr. Owen?
Not in the sense you mean.
Where would you search for Mr. Owen?
Closer to home.
Any idea how we can get off the island?
I've allowed you to continue your own investigations, Mr. Narracott, because I disagree that being the odd man out makes you more suspect. On the contrary. But I've given you a good deal of advice already. It would be well if you thought for yourself for a while and let us get on with our game.
I appreciate your candor, Judge.
No, I don't appreciate your candor. You were such a giant ass.
Have you seen any
We're
of the
all
others?
stuck on here
Before
being
we came in
murdered,
here,
and
I
I'm
saw
just
Miss
like
Brent
having
knitting on the
ideas, and
patio
you're
as
like,
if she had
you
the
should
care
think
in the
for
world.
yourself. Fucking.
Could you perform an autopsy on Mrs. Rogers?
I could, sir, but I won't. As Mr. Lombard so helpfully pointed out, it might be thought I had something to do with her death. It would be unethical for me to operate.
How much Trianol is missing from your supply?
I wouldn't know. I left the bottle with Rogers in case his wife required a second draft.
If you'll excuse me, Doctor.
I mean, it wasn't a hard stretch to be like everyone in this game are terrible people, so... I guess that
It's
shouldn't
locked
surprise
fast.
me. I don't know why there's a cutscene walking up the stairs. but walking down the stairs, it's just a smash cut to black.
Nothing out of order in here. I'd best not take anything, though. I'm sure he would notice. This is a fairly sparse makeup case. Vera isn't the type to use much makeup, though.
So, well, that's actually one of the interesting things about this story. And then there were none. The murderer changes depending on what version you're looking at. So the murderer in the book is different than the murderer in some of the movie adaptations, who's different than the murderer in some of the in the play adaptation. It's kind of interesting how they make that work.
Emily must be more concerned with aging than she lets on.
This one definitely has a very different ending. I remember the ending. It actually has 3 different endings. I think 3 different possible endings. But yeah, no. It is kind of neat actually how they, you know, it changes around like that, so you don't
Better
have.
to let the dead rest in peace.
Why are you just looking at the strap, you absolute idiot? Yes, the original ending is in there as a bonus as well.
There's nothing I can do for the victim now.
Alright, well I guess we're gonna go back to exploring the outside of the island, because there's nothing else here. This guy's getting his fucking paces. And just keep running, dude. Just keep running. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. Having a ball. Don't stop me now. Okay.
It's an old windmill. Impossible to say what it powers, if anything.
It's a twister? I don't. Bees.
I need to subdue the bees first. They'll do me in for sure if I disrupt their artificial home.
I don't know why I just took a bunch of apples, but we did.
I can't get them to fit. That came apart rather easily. There is no cause for that.
Why? It's tobacco.
I'm afraid it's stuck that way. I can't get them to fit.
Huh.
There is no cause for that.
Take the whole basket. Yeah, and stick it in your pockets right next to the fucking the ladder. Maybe I have to separate the matches?
I'm afraid it's stuck that way.
seems so close. As if I could almost jump across and leave this island behind me.
I'd hate for you to jump, Miss Claythorne. I'd miss you.
I think I'd miss you too.
What? Okay.
Think someone on shore could see us?
If they used a telescope like the one on the patio outside my room, I expect they might.
I mean, great people, am I right?
What do you think of Lombard?
I think he's like last night's storm. Dark and wild and possibly dangerous.
But you like him even so?
I love storms.
Have you ever been in love?
I thought I was.
What the fuck?
I thought I could do anything for him.
Is this conversation?
I'd rather not talk about it, if you don't mind.
I'm sorry the job here didn't work out for you.
That's in their
It was only
suicide plot
temporary.
lines.
I want to be a teacher, not a secretary. I want another chance to teach more than anything in the world.
Tell me about yourself.
Mr. Narracott, would you think me terribly rude if I just wanted to stand here and look at the scenery before the next storm closes in?
No, I'm sorry I bothered you.
Oh, you didn't bother me. Quite the contrary. But now I'd just like to enjoy the scenery.
I like how she just wears... like everybody else wore something kind of relatively sensible to, like, come out here, and she's just wearing an evening gown. You know, I would do the same, probably. Let's be honest. But, like, also... Come on. Oh, welcome, welcome. Oh my god, you missed it. So, one of the actors, one of the VAs, you'll recognize his voice.
The waves are crashing here
I'm
with
certain you'll
particular
recognize
violence.
his voice, as you shall. I called you out earlier, but I didn't know that you weren't in the stream, so I apologize. Hopefully once we find him, we can...
Nice peaceful spot you found for yourself, sir.
There is so little time. So little time.
It's okay. No, don't.
I'm
don't
making a tour of the
apologize.
island,
No,
so to
no.
speak.
Quite the adventurer, aren't you?
The one thing that's kind of weird about, you know, streaming is that I can see the number of viewers, but unless people are actively chatting, I don't know who is in the stream. So, you know, for instance, I can tell at this point that I've got about, you know, I've got 5 people that I know of in the stream because you guys have been chatting, but there are 2 people that I don't know.
Have you seen
Not even
anything that might
necessarily
be
like
useful
know
to
as in
us?
who they are behind the screen name, but like, yeah,
You don't
there's no way.
understand at all.
As far as I can tell,
I'm
there's no
not
way for me
sorry
to
I
see
came here. No,
who was watching
it
my
was
stream.
time. I'm content at last. It feels very strange to come to the end, not have to go on.
Oh
I know
dear.
now I will never leave.
Hope everything is okay.
That's peace. Real peace.
I am indebted to you for your help, General Mackenzie.
He didn't help you at all. He just basically said he wants to die. I don't know what else there is to say, Patrick. It's pretty straightforward. Man's done with life. Next.
That cliff is surely the highest point on the island.
Maybe Owen has wings and is perched someplace.
This is
we
the one.
can't
Listen to the
reach.
voice.
Or swimming around out there with the fish.
The one on the left, especially.
You think you'll find Owen?
If he's here, we'll find him.
Why don't you split up?
I suggested that.
The island isn't that big. I felt it was good to stick together to be sure every inch has been covered.
You recognize the voice yet?
Have you seen Vera?
Miss Claythorne was up on Ship Rock when we searched up there.
Have you seen the General?
He was down on that little beach to the south of Ship Rock. He's definitely gaga, if you ask me.
Like he was in a trance.
I can give
talking
you another
to his
hint.
wife, asking her forgiveness.
Dragon Age
Creepy.
Inquisition.
He sent that Richmond fellow to his death for playing up to the missus. Make no mistake about that.
You look tired.
Miss Claythorne's concern for my well-being moves me far more than yours, Narracott. But thanks all the same.
Any conclusions?
Yep.
Only that I'm damn
Yep.
glad I brought this
Yep,
along.
you got it. Yep.
You have a gun?
It's Cullen.
Why didn't you say something?
I would have used it if necessary.
Dr. Chakwas is
Still,
in
I
this
don't
game
like it
too.
very much.
It's
I don't care
like
very much.
half of Dr. Chakwas is in this game, and then also Patrick Naricott, this guy PC, is Nolan North. Game is like a who's who of VAs on one half and a nobody's on the other half. It's great.
Any idea how we can get off the island?
When I was, well, a friend of mine actually, when he was in the army, he saw a new parachute design that allowed you to steer. If you like, I can draw you a plan to construct a parachute like the one he saw.
That would be splendid. Thank you.
1 parachute per order. It's pretty crude, but I think you'll get the idea. I added a list of materials too.
Thanks.
I mean,
Thank you,
I did the
Hobo.
same thing. I didn't know who he was until I quickly looked up the IMDb page and was like, oh shit. And when I did, I was like, wow, I should have known that. He was my husband. What? Oh, we're back here. Okay.
Standing here isn't helping anything. The sea looks daunting. Wouldn't want to be caught out there without a good motor.
I'm a terrible spouse. I'm too busy being the Inquisitor to handle Cullen. That's fair. I actually replayed Inquisition last year, I think? It was kind of nice to go back to a good BioWare game. I'm really just running around in circles at this point. Gotta bear with me here. Yeah, that's fair.
There are some suitable looking apples up near the top of this tree, but I can't reach them. Some things, once done, cannot be undone.
Go on, go on. There we go. Take the whole ass. Sure, no, absolutely. I'd love to chat.
Goats. They look hungry.
Oh good, this is my favorite puzzle. Fucking.
This thicket is rife with thorns. I can't get through it.
I want you to remember this. For those of you who I've talked to about Moon Logic before, this right here is what I talk about. This moment and this fucking puzzle, getting through this thicket, is the moment that taught me what Moon Logic fucking is. I will show you how to solve this in just a few moments. There are goats. There's the thicket. We already picked up fermented apples. Oh, it absolutely took me a walk through as well. I had no idea. Because it's so fucking left field. It makes no sense. Even, like... It's just, it makes no sense. It's complete bullshit. I hate this puzzle so much. And that's why this game is seared into my brain. Because of this puzzle. It's called Moon Logic because, you know, so it comes from, King's Quest is the game. King's Quest is kind of like, it's a point-and-click adventure game, but it was meant to be solved over, like, a decade, basically. Why is my mic not working? Oh, weird. Okay. So Moon Logic, the idea is like, the idea is generally like it's outside of standard logic. Like, in this particular case, for instance, You see a thicket with a bunch of thorns. You want to get to the other side. You saw that there was an axe earlier. Standard logic would be go get the axe, chop down the thicket, right? But we're not operating on standard logic. We're operating on moon logic, where we have to do something that doesn't quite seem to make sense. Sometimes, if it's well written, it makes sense in retrospect. Like, you're like, oh, of course it would be like that. Or, like...
no one's hiding in there. I'd stake my reputation on it.
I've done some hunting in my day. There's some very elusive game. If Owen's in that house, he must be invisible.
So, if it's well written, it'll make sense in retrospect in some cases, or it'll be like a pun or something like that. Like some of the stuff that we played through Monkey Island, those puns that were the solutions to puzzles, that's moon logic in some way, but it's like there's a reason behind it. There's a tongue-in-cheek. This poorly written.
Any luck at all?
And so
there's no one on this island except our 9 selves.
Where haven't you searched?
The woodshed. I should have guessed he might be out there.
Have you reached any conclusions?
Maybe it was just an accident and a suicide. Or
Nancy
2
Drew
accidents or
definitely
2
does have
suicides for all I know.
That'll do, Mr. Bloor.
I'm not saying that, you know, Nancy Drew is immune from this. I will say that in general, Nancy Drew is better with this than most other series. But I'm about to show you how to solve the goats puzzle because I remember the solution. Again, it is seared into my brain. So, in order to... Here we go. We have a basket of fresh apples.
I need to put something down to filter the pulp.
We have a cocktail glass, basket of fresh apples, and...
I need something here to use as a crossbar.
Ooh, okay.
I'm afraid it's stuck that way.
Cross. Shoot. Oh, wait. No?
I can't take that apart.
No. Specific Nancy Drew logic one? Oh, shoot. Not off the top of my head, really. I admit, not off the top of my head.
It's Lombard's plan for building a parachute. I'll copy it into my notebook.
Silk sheets, rope, leather harness, ooh, daddy. 3 metal struts, and quite a bit of luck. Crossbar for this. Oh yeah?
I'm afraid it's stuck that way.
Oh yeah, the magic wand plus the gun thing. That's an infamous example, yeah. So Nancy Drew moon logic on that front, yeah. When you take a literal plastic magic wand, you stick a piece of gum on it so you can reach down and get a quarter off of a balcony. Yeah, I know it's going to be a very cheesy apple juice. Alright. One of my favorite website, UHS Hints. Because it gives me a hint that there are no hints for this one. So Game Boomers it is. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Oh, shoot. There are UHS hints. Huh. Weird. Okay. I thought I missed something. Okay. Alright. I think I know what I was supposed to do. Okay. One peculiar tasting apple juice. This must be tense with your sinful nature. Yes. Oh yeah, the teacher's lounge window. That fucking. I mean, so it's very interesting to me that they've kind of completely disowned the original Secrets Can Kill, because that is my Secrets Can Kill. Remake game guides. Oh my god, yes. Yes. It was the most important thing. You had to have them. Like,
I think I heard a click. I could be imagining it, though. I think I heard a click. I could be imagining it, though.
Yeah, the remastered is scary and bad.
This is neither the time nor the
or
place.
the place. Ha! Secret panel.
Rule Britannia, Britannia rule the waves. Britons never will be slaves. Oh, makes the eyes water a bit.
It helps if you actually sing it properly, but that's okay.
It's a shortwave radio. It could be useful if I could get it working. It seems to be missing quite a few parts. Let me examine this
Another
further.
card. Yeah, you might need a Q-tip to really get in deep in order to make sure you... Yeah, talk is cheap and rumors can be ugly. Keep your secrets safe.
Boxes. Nothing of use in them.
How do you know if you haven't even looked, buddy?
Boxes. Nothing of use in them.
I want... Oh, I definitely want something like that.
This could use a closer look.
How about the safe? Talk is cheap and rumors can be ugly. Keep your secrets safe. That sounds like that's a thing. Maybe, you know what? No, we got in here the decoded message. Yeah, left 28, right 11. And then left 49. Okay.
I think I heard a click. I could be
There we
imagining
go.
it, though. Aha! It's open.
Stick that whole thing in there, buddy. Stick it all in. What even is that? Sturdy rubber raft. Okay.
There's something in this drawer. It's a lone raven-shaped earring. That swapped the positions of the two drawers.
No.
There's something in this drawer. It looks like some sort of microphone. There's something in this drawer. It's a fragment of a document. There's something in this drawer. It's a card with some writing on it.
Alright, well, let's take a look at all those things that you just found.
Let me examine this further.
Row your boat gently down the stream unless it's a fishing boat and the sea is mean.
This bears a closer look.
I feel like this probably spells something. LME Noir is a really graphic game sometimes, yeah, that's very true. There's got to be an order to put those in.
Rule Britannia, Britannia rule the waves. Britons never will be slaves. Oh, makes the eyes water a bit.
God. Alright, I think I know what it is, though.
Rule the waves, of course. What's this?
Another secret,
A secret door.
Animal Crossing Village is a shook. Yes. Ah.
I'm surprised the electricity still works in here.
Surprised that one tiny little generator is enough to run. Couple of oars. No.
Impossible to tell what was once stored in these barrels.
Yeah, the texture quality, it's A+ in it.
I can't get to the bulb. The wire casing is rusted over.
You need to get to the bulb?
This panel seems out of place.
Ooh. Go back in there. There was something that you could klepto. We're not done.
This panel seems out of place. These timbers are all that stand between me and being buried alive.
No pressure.
It's tightly locked.
Have a good night, Votsek. Thanks for stopping by. I mean, we're going to be stopping pretty soon ourselves, to be honest. Getting there, folks. We are getting there. But we are deep in the grab everything stage. So
the water here is rather calm compared to the waves crashing against the rest of this benighted tip.
Benighted tip. It's just like
fascinating. It looks like some kind of single-person submersible. Clearly damaged beyond repair, though.
Or
the water here is rather calm compared to the waves crashing against the rest of this benighted tip.
can't blow it up. Not yet? Alright. The walking sounds, yeah, they're... It's... I don't know. Yeah, it's a little much. Gotta remind you that you're playing a game, I guess. Maybe. Okay, now we can do the puzzle. Right? I want to go that way. Not yet. Fair. Absolutely fair. God, I've been meaning to go exercising this whole week, and I just can't because of how hot it's been. God. Okay, so now that we have a propeller from a submarine, now we can make apple cider.
Ah, a nice fresh glass of apple juice.
I'm sorry.
I'm half tempted to drink it myself.
That's not what we were here for. We're here to make apple cider.
Apple cider? From the smell, quite potent stuff too.
Propeller from a submarine. Yep. But we are not done. We now have the apple cider, which we will now take outside. Alright, time for moon logic to really hit the fan here. For the propeller, I guess, at this point? I'm sure. Both? Either? This way. Yeah, I know you already know. I definitely told you, I do remember that. Oh, man. Just every time it gets me, it gets me. Okay, here we go. Time to get past the goats. Take the glass of apple cider. You pour it on the brambles. Then you walk away. And now the goats go eat the brambles. It's fucking bizarre. No, I'm not. This is
right
it.
through the thicket, thorns and all.
That's how you get past the fucking... Why? Why? Just, yeah, this is exactly what I meant by moon logic. Like, it's just, it's so fucking bizarre. Why? And they ate it so fucking fast. Oh, God.
I think I can see a blinking red light off in the distance, but I can't be sure.
Interesting. That was in the decoded message too, wasn't it? Pure beacon on buoy off west shore. Make certain homing engaged. Red light must blink.
I think I can see a blinking red light off in the distance, but I can't be sure.
Yeah, no, I just, none of it makes sense. It's so bizarre. It's a weird moment in the game that just, it makes no sense at all. say that we needed to...
I'm afraid it's stuck that way. There is no cause for that. Those don't work together.
Definitely do, didn't we? Silk sheets sewn together. Various lengths of rope.
I can't take that apart.
Should have. I mean, I think the cider was alcohol. He did say that it was pretty strong stuff, so...
I'm afraid it's stuck that way. I see nothing remarkable. There is no cause for that. They don't get along. Those don't work together. There is no cause for that.
Oh, yeah, making... I'm afraid it's stuck that way.
Could you help me sew these sheets together to make a parachute?
I suppose I could. There's a sewing kit in the servants' quarters. The needles would work, but I don't think the thread would be strong enough.
Good day, Miss Brent.
These will work splendidly. Fishing line? Yes, that would be strong enough to sew the silk sheets together.
I can't sew. She can sew because she's a woman. Men can't sew because he's a man. His testosterone gets in the way. Can't sew. Where'd the sheets go? Where did they go?
How is the parachute coming along?
When it's done, I will let you know, Mr. Narracott.
That is all, Miss Brent.
Yes, I gave her everything. She's probably going, what the fuck do you need? What do you need a parachute for?
I hope that softens her disposition towards me somewhat. Are you sure you can't tell me anything more about seeing Miss Claythorne at a hotel near St. Trednick's?
You're right.
I wonder how you heard that. I was staying near the place where that boy Cyril Hamilton's death occurred. Miss Claythorne acted as if she'd never been to the place, but I see no reason to say any more about it.
That is all, Miss Brent.
That worked. All right. No further commentary, I guess. How do I blow up the raft? That's something I need. Might be something to do for next week, though. I think I'm gonna call a night. Let me make sure that... Ah, okay. Okay. That's fine. Might just destroy my computer here a little bit. There we go. Okay. This morning, I can't believe the servants died. I wanted my apple juice. Now we gave you apple juice covered in cheese. And she's like, better. Welcome to my Bible YouTube channel. Oh, man. Well, there we are. Ladies, gents, and gentlethems. Ladies and gentlemen, thems. That's the phrase I liked. Ladies and gentlethems. I like that. That's it for tonight. That was a journey. It's a weird-ass game. I've got quite a few of them going, ready to go. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming in. It was great. Thank you for the help along the way. Thank you for the laughs, because, man, there were plenty. We will be streaming this again next. Oh yeah, you get to see the Moon Logic in action. Oh man. We'll be streaming some more next Tuesday for sure. Tuesday at same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, or whatever it is now. I know Eastern Standard Time is not technically what it is right now, I think, because of something with the daylight savings. Whatever time it is in Boston. I'm glad you're having fun with this. And yes, time is a lie, especially right now. It's been the longest, these 6 months have been the longest 6 years. Every time I say that, I get a laugh out of people, and it's like a slightly nervous and awkward laugh, and it's great. Notification, okay. But anyway, so yeah, next, looks like I have something on my more nail polish. It's chipping right off on my face apparently. Jeez. Anyway, so yes, next Tuesday we will continue streaming more Agatha Christie's and Then There Were None. Well, maybe. We'll see what happens this weekend. I may stream again this weekend. I know I said that last week, or 2 weeks ago, that I was going to try to stream that weekend. I'm honestly thinking about it now. Part of the reason is I like to have, especially if most of the games that I'm playing here take about 2 streams, and I like to have it all contained within 1 week. You know, like Tuesday and Thursday, game done. Tuesday and Thursday, game done. So, oh, hi CJ, welcome. Well, the VOD's gonna be up in a little bit anyway, so you can watch the rest of it because I highly recommend it. This game is crazy fun. So, yeah, I might stream this weekend and try and get us back on track for starting a game on Thursday and starting a game on Tuesday and finishing it on Thursday. Another thing that I'm thinking of doing for the future to prevent this kind of thing happening again is having some kind of game that I can just kind of go back to, or a couple games that I can go back to over and over again. Ones that aren't necessarily story bound, don't necessarily have a progression, but are like puzzles or something that we can just kind of stream casually or whatever. So I don't know, Overwatch. Not gonna. I will get angry. But yeah, no, it was a good stream, and it's a bizarre game. It's hilarious. I love this. So, and I figured that you knew each other as well, since streaming you mentioned Nancy Drew earlier. So, but yeah, next Tuesday. Well, you might get a chance to. Honestly, I need to re-download it. So this me and Overwatch have a complicated history. Let me put it this way. When I used to play Overwatch regularly, I would just sweat, like, because and I would sweat, and when I finished a match, I could like put my controller down and just see my hands shaking. I was like, this is a little too much for me. I'm gonna die early if I keep playing this game too much. I just got way too invested in it. It was hilarious. But yeah. So keep an eye out for an announcement. Those of you who are new to the channel, we've got the lovely things right here. Twitter and Instagram, BOSTrophyWife. I do all of my announcements there first. I also have a Discord. So if you would like to join the Discord, I will post a link as soon as Discord lets me post a link. There we go. Nope. There we go. Barefoot? Gee, retail is glad I never had to work in it quite. Still had to work in a grocery store and had plenty of crazy when that happened, but that was about it. And let me tell you, libraries can get kind of weird too. Did have someone ask for batteries out of the clock before. Had someone ask where the books are when they came into the library. That was an interesting one. Where are the books? was like, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. You're in a library. They're everywhere. Yeah, no, had someone actually ask, can I have the batteries out of the clock? Because they wanted batteries. And I was like, no. I think they might have been drunk. I hope they were drunk because, yeah, they came in and they asked, where are the books? And I'm like, this is the campus library. The building is filled with the books. This is where all the books are, in fact. Pick a direction. There will be books in that way. I mean, then they walked out. Like, okay, sure. Thanks. Oof. Yeah. Service stuff. Even I think it's worse. It's far, far worse if you're in public libraries. Yeah, they went outside instead of going to any of the books. It was great. I'm glad that I could help make your night dreamy. I really do think it's worse if you're in public libraries. I work for an academic library, and I've always worked in academic libraries, so you do get a little bit of buffer where the people who are coming in are college students or college community, and so there's that extra level of filter, I guess. Whereas public library, you get it. I have some friends who work in public libraries, and the stories they tell me, oh my god. I'm trying to avoid the books. They're just tracking down the book's origins. They're going through its origin story, you know? Gotta go back. They gotta go back, do the 23andMe for the books. Find out whether it was a spruce book or whether it was, this dictionary is 35% spruce and 35% spruce, 50% northern white pine, and with a 0.1% of African rosewood. Oh, I lost my shit plenty of times. Oh my god, I lost my shit plenty of times. As soon as the door closed, when they had left, I cried laughing. I died right then and there. It was fucking hilarious. Because just, man, of the things that could happen. I think for things that happened to me lately working at the music library, there's not a whole lot. I do remember panicking when I was in grad school. I worked at the circulation desk for a while, and I was panicking at one point because there was a tornado just like 10 miles south of us. And it was like we were under a tornado warning and everything. And I'm like, how do we get to the basement? We got to do something. And like everyone around me was so nonplussed. They're like, it'll be fine. I mean, we're in this big concrete building. And I'm like, yeah, filled with windows. It's a fucking death trap. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, good. Good. Sure. Okay. Okay. Sure. That's, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it is a capital F and a capital U. Yeah. I'm sorry. Ugh. I mean, I do have weird fun stories about when I was a bagger for a regional grocery chain up here. My first job, everybody's first job where I came from, because there was nothing else, basically. You got lucky or you worked there. And it wasn't a bad place to work, I will say that. But like, this grocery chain, I don't even know how to explain it exactly. For those of you who live in the South, you might recognize it's kind of like a Piggly Wiggly in terms of the way it is. Or maybe a Kroger, I guess. It's kind of like but it's not as bad as Piggly Wiggly. Yeah, it's not Stop and Shop. No, it's not Stop and Shop. I actually am not originally from Massachusetts either. Although we did have a Stop and Shop. Although it took a while for that to get there. Yeah, no. No, the one that I worked at is called Market Basket. There was actually a big documentary in the I think a couple years ago there was a giant strike. It was the largest non-unionized strike in United States history. It's kind of cool stuff. And it's a giant family-owned grocery chain all over New England. They're known as like one of the least expensive places to shop, but they actually have a good selection. Like their stores are not the best, they're in terms of like cleanliness or looks or anything like that. It's not like you're walking into a pristine, gorgeous looking thing or whatever, but like they have a really good selection of stuff. It's surprising because I did live 2 years in the South, and I shopped at Publix, Piggly Wiggly, and Kroger. And was it Kroger? No, Winn-Dixie. I'm sorry, Winn-Dixie. Winn-Dixie was trash, absolute trash, and I had to go way out of my way to get there. Publix was gorgeous, but incredibly expensive. They have the selection I wanted, but they were expensive. And then Piggly Wiggly was affordable and awful. Every time I got food there that was not like pre-packaged food, I got sick. Every single time. So I only ever bought like bottled, canned, or boxed food from them. But like Market Basket is this weird nexus of like good food and low prices, which means that it also attracts very weird people. And in particular, the store that I worked at was like the only store that was in the general local area. And so I think my personal favorite customers that I remember distinctly were the ones that would come with 2 carts. They were like a family of 3. They would come with 2 full carts, like heaping full carts, just the 3 of them. And then they would tell me that they wanted them bagged in double paper. Which, if you've ever watched baggers work, double paper is paper is bad to begin with. Double paper is extra bad. And they were 2 full carts every single time they would do that. But they were not happy with how I bagged. I was too slow for them. So the father would come over and start doing it himself. And he would just like churn it out faster than I could even go for it. And I'm just sitting there being like, all right, if you want a bag, you can just do it. I don't care. I get paid either way. Like, have fun, Oh, man. Or the people who always try to get in the store at the last minute. Those were the fun ones. We had people who actually like would wait for someone with the carriages, someone handling the carts to come back out so they could slide in the outdoor after we closed the store. And it was just like, no, we are closed. The hours have been the same as they have always been for the last 15 to 20 years. We are closed. I want to go the fuck home. Ugh. Not overflowing the bags. See, yeah, and I would get yelled at for doing both. Like, if you pack the bags too full, no, you should only have like 3 items per bag. You pack the bags too light, you need to put more things in those bags. I'm like, okay, well, dude, pick. And I would get some people who would want like some weird in the middle. I have a quick question. No, you don't. No, you don't. Absolutely not. No. I'm sorry if I'm just having like full moment here. Oh God, I remember one time even when I think I had like bananas and bread No, it was bananas and chips. It wasn't even bread. It was bananas and chips, and those were like the last couple things that I needed to do, because I didn't want the bananas to get bruised. I didn't want the chips to get crushed. I grabbed a bag, put the bananas down in, and then put the chips on top. So, bag with bananas and chips should be totally fine. Chips weigh practically nothing. The bananas are going to be fine. Loaded into the cart. Lady gives me a really weird look. Goes off anyway. About 2 seconds later, I glance over and she's talking to my supervisor, pointing at me, and then waving the bananas in my supervisor's face. She then storms out of the store. He comes over and is like, so I just coming over to talk to you because she was upset about this, and I have nothing to say about that. I just need to look like I'm telling you not do that again. And I'm like, fucking, if she had a problem with it, she could have brought it up to me, first of all. Second of all, they're fucking chips. What are they gonna do? Bruise your fucking bananas? Just what? Like the things people got upset about when dealing with bagging is just I don't even understand. And yeah, honestly, you just kind of let people do shit at a certain point because you're just like, I'm tired, I don't care, my feet hurt, I've been here for several hours, my whole body is in pain, and this outfit is stuffy and gross. I hate all of you, regardless of what you're doing. Just get your shit and leave. Like, ugh, I'm so glad I got out of there. I did. Well, that is good. That is good. Yeah, if I were working retail right now, I would die. Fucking, ugh. I honestly think it probably does. Yeah. Definitely a bunch of weird jobs. Throughout college and high school, I did weird jobs. I wanted to get out of Market Basket as soon as I could, even though they paid me quite a bit. It was always fighting to try and get more hours, basically. So I ended up taking a summer job at one point in a warehouse, packing and shipping. That was fun. That was when I discovered that I had eczema and had inherited it from my mother, and was triggered by dry conditions because I was constantly handling paper in this warehouse in the summer where the temperatures would regularly hit 90s and such. Yeah, I was regularly dealing with all this paper. I got all these tiny little eczema blisters, essentially. They were itchy and intense and everything, and I had no idea what they were. But I did know what warts were. And so I tried to use the acid that you use for warts on my eczema. And that acid basically has one function, and that's to eat away at skin. It was not good. It was not good. That was... Have a good night, dear. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you next time. Yeah, that was a 1 year only thing. I did not go back there. The year after that, I got a job. I got a summer job. That was in college, and so I was working. I had a work-study job in the library at that point. And that's where I got the batteries out of the clock. Where are the books? Those people. So over the summer, my junior year and senior year, I got jobs in the library and got summer work study, and it was much. I mean, it was boring sometimes because we would have to, they were trying to keep us busy sometimes with, doing nothing, which is just like a trope of every job I've ever been to. Just look busy. I don't care what you're doing. Just look busy so that it looks like you're doing something and therefore are looking like you're being productive, because it gives a better impression or whatever. But it didn't really even matter in this case because we were doing works up in the stacks and the university was empty. There were no classes being held at that time. So it's like, no one's here on the university in the first place. No one's here in the library. and you have us up with all the books, not at one of the desks. After a while, we literally just laid in the stacks and slept, or like just pined on the natures of life or whatever for an hour until we had to go back and change, duties or whatnot. It was crazy. And now I have a job that I enjoy, and I can kind of set my own goals, and that's nice. So as long as I get to keep it, I will be happy. If I don't get to keep it, I don't know what I will do. Maybe sell my soul and make a lot of money so I can actually afford that that condo in Provincetown that I really want. So yeah, I'm steaming right ahead to that once we come back in August. I'm pretty sure we're going to be heading back in August, and it's going to be a weird because we're still maintaining social distancing. Everyone's going to be set aside, and I'm not going to be interacting with my coworkers directly. Only half of us in the office at any given time as well, the four of us. So one from management, one from staff, swapping it out. So there's my colleague, my 75-year-old colleague, I will not see at all. So you'll get there. You'll get there. I promise. I promise. I know it seems really tough right now, but trust me. You'll get there. You'll graduate, and it'll feel nice. I will tell you, however, that if this is your first degree, any further degrees you get will have diminishing returns of how you feel at graduation. High school graduation felt like it needed to be like a whole thing. I was really, really obsessed with making sure that I spoke at my graduation. And then undergrad, when I graduated that time, I knew I was graduating from a really large public university, so I knew that I wasn't really going to get any kind of attention. I know that sounds kind of selfish, but at the actual graduation ceremony, and I was right, the actual graduation ceremony, they were literally like, College of Liberal Arts, please stand, turn your tassels, you're now graduated, please sit back down. College of Life Sciences, please stand, you now graduated, sit back down. That was literally it. But I had another ceremony the night before because I was in the honors program because I was an overachiever. But then master's degree, my first master's degree. Once I graduated from there, on the day of graduation, I was in the car going home because I wanted the hell out of Georgia, and I didn't really give a shit about the whole ceremony point. My accompanist, actually, my piano accompanist, texted me while I was on the way and was like, "Oh, we're having such fun. Wish you were here." And I'm like, "I'm over the border into Virginia. Peace, bitches." Like, we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we definitely knew each other back then. Yeah, we did. Did? I mean, we knew each other. I know that much because I think I met you, Digi, in undergrad. Grad school for me was 2014 to fall of 2014 to spring of 2000. And nursing and education. Oof. Yeah. Nope. I feel ya. Yeah, graduations are just, yeah. Yeah, no, I understand. Just kind of wanting to be done with it at this point. Yeah, I understand that. I'm in the process of getting a second master's degree because I'm absolutely. And when I graduate for this, I will not be doing it at all. Maybe going out for a drink or 5 to celebrate the thousands of dollars of graduate debt that I've accumulated in order to make slightly more money. Getting school over with is very much. Honestly, once everything started hitting, even though I'm doing all of my classes online asynchronously, I was just tapped out. Like, I'm only here for 2 classes. I have very little work to actually do. I'm just so tapped out of work doing it. So, but yeah, no, that's how I plan on celebrating this graduation, at least this master's degree. Just going to the bar, hopefully. You'll get there, CJ. I know. It's tough. It's really hard to kind of see beyond this sometimes, especially with the way that higher ed works, and especially with how, where you are in higher ed works, CJ. I mean, even at this point, don't really know what our College of Fine Arts is going to look like in terms of performance stuff. So, I mean, grad school, it's a weird thing. I felt like I got a lot out of what I did for grad school. Now, did it help me necessarily? I mean, it did help me get a job. I have been told point blank that if I did not have my master's degree in music performance, I would not have gotten the job that I have now. If I had just had a bachelor's, it wouldn't have been quite enough. But grad school has to be something that you definitely want. There has to be either a very good practical reason, like getting this degree will equal more money, or you really have to want it. You have to actually enjoy what you're about ready to do. For me as a musician, when I hit junior year of undergrad, that's when I really hit my stride as a musician, when I really started absorbing what I was learning and applying it in a way that was actually pushing me forward very quickly and very smoothly. So because I feel like I kind of hit that late, I knew a bunch of other people that hit it in freshman year or sophomore year instead. I felt like I still needed to continue pushing myself that way with that kind of structure. So that's why I went for a master's degree in music performance, even though usually one would go for like a conservatory degree, something like that. I wanted to go for something that was equal parts academic performance and still had that structure that helped me function well. And so the first year especially, I worked really, really well within that. I knew that I was done with grad school when I hit the second year of my master's degree, and within 2 weeks, I wanted the entire year to just be done, just so that I could go back home and not have to deal with this right now. So that was the moment that I was like, this is burnout. This is what this feels like. So it was almost comical that I decided to go back to grad school. But this time, this one is a practical one. I am not doing this because I enjoy. I mean, I enjoy the classwork to some extent, and I enjoy what it is. It's a Master's of Library Science, so I enjoy what it is because I already enjoy being a librarian. But God, I wish I didn't have to get it though. Oh, sorry, I missed a lot of your comments, so I got to read back a little bit. Yeah. I assume, CJ, that they're going to be figuring out some performance stuff as classes get going. I have no idea what that's going to look like here. We have so many universities that are, if they're opening for any on-campus anything, it's very, very little. I mean, MIT, for instance, is only opening for their seniors. Harvard is only opening for their freshmen. And so I don't know what that's going to look like. Oof, yeah, Digi. I can tell you right now, I've known a lot of people that are either in the process of getting degrees or went to get degrees so they could teach at a college level. And originally that was my idea, actually. I wanted to teach oboe at a private at a private high level. So whether that meant like an arts high school or college level conservatory, that's what I wanted. But everyone that I know that has gone with that kind of path of like get a higher degree so you can work in higher education as a professor has been sorely disappointed because a lot of colleges do not want to hire tenure track anymore. If there are tenure track positions, they are very few and far between. They tend to go to people who have massive amounts of experience already. It's very, 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 very small field, and dare I say, kind of rigged. It's very much a game of who you know, what not what you know. And it's wrong in my opinion, very, very wrong. But it very much is just it stinks. Oh man. I mean, so what I can say when it comes to when it when it comes to what you do, whether you feel good about it is kind of an internal psychological thing, I guess. If that makes sense. Excuse me. It's I think especially for, at least I can speak from my own experience as, of millennial here, young millennials. There was such a heavy emphasis on do what you love that it wasn't quite do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. It wasn't quite so blind, but it definitely felt like it was, you know, do what you love and you'll enjoy your work better. It's not quite right. I think you should do something you like doing if you can. You don't have to love it though. So I guess the best way I can say this on my end is that while I really enjoy some parts of my job, there are some parts that I really don't enjoy, and that's totally normal. But it is still a job. I am not going to apply a lot of my librarian skills in my day-to-day life. It is not something that I do as a hobby. It is not something that I do for enjoyment. I do it because it is my job. And I feel like I'm relatively good at my job more or less because of my experience rather than any training that I've gotten. I'm going for my master's of library science right now, and I have consistently felt that the things I am learning in school I already know, and if I don't already know them, they are practically useless. Pretty much everyone I talk to in the library field, for the most part, feels that their library science degree was useless. That's why I'm mad that I have to get it. But and I think if you find that one thing that I wouldn't even say that you can tolerate. It's a little more than that. Like if you can find something that you can tolerate and you don't really like doing anything, that's fine. And the expertise will come. The expertise will come with time. And your degree does not define your job at all either. I mean, there are some jobs that require certain degrees, certainly. You're not going to get into the medical field without a medical degree. But like a lot of jobs for the most part will really just be looking for a degree. And you can work within that system there. So even if you decide that teaching isn't what you want to do, you can work with that. You can work with the fact, well, yeah, you've got a degree in education, but what are the kind of broad soft skills that's given you? I mean, first of all, you have a liberal arts education, which gives you a lot more than someone with a science background education. And that's a completely valid thing that you've got going on right now. I mean, that's something that I think everybody feels to some extent at the moment, whether they're dealing with going through school. I can certainly say on my end, when I was gone on vacation and I saw the condo that I really, really wanted, I mean, I cannot tell you how intensely I wanted, to live in this condo and have this life. It was like forming in front of my eyes, and I was just like, I can't have this. Not the way I am. I was sitting there checking job listings in the Boston area to see if I could get a higher paying job even if it was something that I didn't want to do, and it wasn't what and it wasn't anywhere near my career field as it was. You know, having these crises of faith is a relatively regular thing for people, but even more so, especially now that we have such stress upon us on an almost daily basis. So I think what we need to do really, and it's hard to do this, especially when you're dealing with people around you who judge you in certain ways, and you know, especially for a university, that can come in your professors with grading. It's definitely healthy. Yeah, CJ, you're definitely right. It's healthy to reevaluate what you want to do and whether you might want to, you know, change your path or anything like that. It's certainly healthy to reevaluate that. But it's also really important, I think, that we give ourselves the latitude and the space to have these thoughts and to exist in such a way that we don't expect too much of ourselves. It's like those little steps, and not worry too much about the future too. And I was getting to that, and you got there before I got there, Dreamy. It's hard to see what the future is going to hold, even in a normal year, even regularly. I can certainly say one of the reasons that I went to grad school was because I was afraid of graduating. That was honestly a reason. I didn't know what I was going to do with a bachelor's degree in music. I didn't feel like I was good enough to take that music experience and turn it into a professional career at that point. And so I went into grad school. It was something that I decided to do because you know, multiple factors, but one of them was fear of graduating and fear of what came after graduation. And I'll be completely honest, when I recognized that I was completely burnt out and I was, you know, going to finish my master's degree, I was resigning myself to the fact that I was probably going to have to get a random job, and it was not going to be anything to do. I was looking at getting a job in libraries because I worked in libraries before, but it wasn't what I wanted to do, what I had set out to do. What I had set out to do was either become a music teacher, you know, not public school, but or like band or anything like that, but private teacher, or to perform. And I recognized again that I didn't feel like I was good enough to do that. I certainly didn't seem to manage to be good enough to rank well in my school compared to certain other people. So I was consigning myself to the fact that I was just going to have to find a random job. And it was probably going to be something unrelated that I didn't really want to stay in, but it would pay bills and hold me over. I spent 3 months doing nothing. I graduated in spring of 2016. I had the entire summer to twiddle my thumbs and try to apply for jobs that honestly there weren't a lot of. Because people just weren't hiring at that point. And that's it. I certainly admit that there was a fair amount of luck involved. My mother managed to find 2 job listings, one at my current university and one at another university in Ivy League, actually, elsewhere. And I applied to both. I interviewed at both. They both loved me and they both wanted me. I had both universities fighting over me. Great feeling, I can't tell you. And I know that that's not, you know, that's not going to happen for everyone. But I certainly didn't see myself going into libraries. I certainly didn't see myself where I am now 5, 10 or even 5 years ago. And that was one of the things that kind of came to mind when I had some of those panic moments of, should I change my job? Should I try and get more money? Because I've got all this mounting debt and I don't know that I'll ever be able to afford any kind of property and I'm just going to be stuck paying rent for the rest of my life. Am I going to be able to get to do any of this? But I kind of sat down and thought, well, 5 years ago, I was still in grad school, had no idea what I was going to do. Hell, 4 years ago, I had just graduated and I was sitting around running out of things to watch on Netflix in my parents' house because I had no idea what to do next. And now I'm running on 4 years with my university. I've managed to survive a round of layoffs during the pandemic, so I'm gonna try and hope and stay with that, knock on wood. So, well, I mean, I will tell you right now, your classmates are always going to seem like they've got their shit together. They are always going to seem like shit together. I don't want to say like grass is always greener, but G Shell's right. They're definitely hiding it better. I'm very good at hiding how I feel. I always to everyone try to project an image of being confident, confident and very put together at all times. I am the statue and the rock and the shoulder to come cry on, the ear to listen, and I will always make time for you. I will always, self-assured, that's the word I wanted, yeah. I will always be the one to listen to you and to help you and to hold you up. That's what I've always tried to be, to my detriment at many times. So what I can say on that front, when it comes to feeling like you're behind, or being a semester behind, quote unquote, is not to focus too much on finishing in 4 years. I think one of the biggest weird lies that has been stuck in the American psyche for decades is that undergrad college must be finished in 4 years. Don't understand why that is. For some reason, we here in the United States have sectioned ourselves off into 4-year chunks of school. You have 4 years in elementary school, grade 1 through 4. You have 4 years in middle school, 5 through 8. You have 4 years in high school, 9 through 12. And then you have 4 years in college, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. It's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Finish on your own terms. Definitely go easy on yourself. If you feel like you are taking too much of a course load, take a couple courses off. Do them in the summer, or do them in the summer, or take another semester. It really will not hurt you, I promise. No one's going to care that you took an extra semester, an extra year to finish your degree. Definitely don't put yourself through that kind of stress, because and I've been there. Again, I managed to hold it together, but it was like holding together the fucking Titanic while it was breaking in half. Because I took 23 credits my senior year. My last semester, my senior year, I took 23 credits of classes over 11 different classes. And part of that was preparing for a final recital, an hour-long recital of my own music. I was writing a thesis. I was performing for that thesis as well. I was conducting a performance. I was writing another honors paper. I was taking 2 classes for my minor, my business minor, whereas I had only taken 1 every semester beforehand. And I was also auditioning for grad school at the same time. So while I was preparing for my recital and writing all these papers, getting ready for all these performances, every single weekend I was on a plane to another part of the country in order to audition. It was hell. I gained 15 pounds in those 2 months because of the amount of stress eating that I did. I still, to this day, do not fully understand how I managed to get through that year. 2014 was a fucking time. So yeah, I wholly suggest, I understand there's definitely some other things to keep in mind in there. You might have to hit a certain number of credit hours in order to get financial aid or keep your scholarships and stuff like that, to make sure that you're hitting full-time status. Definitely keep those in mind, but don't feel like you need to finish in 4 years. It's the biggest lie that has been perpetuated for no reason. It baffles me, because taking more time would benefit practically. So I wholly recommend just like keeping real close ear to your own self and what your body and your mind is telling you and what you can and can't do. So honestly, yeah, no, I gained weight, and now my doctor has me on medications, blood pressure stuff, and it's all fun. All fun, it's all weird, it's all bad, and we're all in this together though. It's hard to relax and it's hard to keep sane, but a little bit every time. That's kind of my goal. If making myself feel a little better one day means getting one of my chores done, awesome. Just a little bit here and there. We moved into this apartment in June, and we still haven't unpacked. Still haven't fully unpacked. I have so much sitting in bins in the living room. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but I know that we can all get through this. I know that we can do this. I have an immense amount of faith in what people can do, especially when they set their minds to something on any level, whether that's setting your mind to taking care of yourself holistically or what. I know it can be done. And I believe in you. So I'm glad that this helped a little bit. I'm more than happy to chat some more. I know that I linked the Discord in there, but my Discord is open. Feel free to come in and chat there if you want more group chat. You can also direct message me on Discord as well if you want to talk some more. I mean, I've been steeped in academic life for pretty much my whole adult life at this point, so school is going to be different. School is going to be a lot different than it should be. It's going to be a lot harder, but I think because of that, we need to take it easier on ourselves as we move forward. One thing that I can certainly say is that your teachers know this. Your professors know this. Your professors know this. Your school knows this as well. Pretty much everyone that I work with are all very well attuned to, our students will have a lot on their plates. So it might seem like they don't care. In some cases, you might just need to reach out and bring up some of these. I'm hoping that especially this fall will be a lot more different than the spring. The spring was rough on a lot of levels. There were definitely times where I didn't experience this myself in my own classes, but there were definitely times where some of the students that work for me were struggling in ways that could have been eased by either administrators or by professors, and they were not, because they were trying to. Professors and educators especially were trying to hold this high standard that was impossible to hold with the not the technology, but the limitations that were put upon them. And so then it was like a cycle of stress. Administrators were putting pressure on faculty were putting pressure on students, and the students were just struggling through and trying to get through it. I'm hoping that as a whole, academia will be a little easier to bear this fall, since we've had time to prepare for it. There will certainly be exceptions to this rule. There will be people who try to teach their classes like they are in person and normal and nothing's wrong. That's definitely going to happen. But the first thing to do is always to talk to your professor first. Check with them, see if there's any help that they can give you. That can be anything from giving you leniency on assignments, or in some cases, what happened with the classes that I took. Enough people approached the professor that they changed the syllabus altogether. So, and I understand that, yeah, online is tough. It's a very different system. The degree that I'm in right now, the first time that I've ever done anything online. And it is hard to keep focus. It is hard to track things. I certainly preferred in-person interaction, but I'm doing it online because I just don't have time to do it anyway, any other way. So doing it in person, I totally understand, because having that interaction and having that immediacy is definitely important. So the first step is always to check with your professor. The second step, if the professor can't or won't help you, is to move on up. Go to administration in your school. Go to administration, the dean of students' office especially. So, and then if all else fails, that's when you pull out the ad drop form. If it's too much to handle, drop the class. That's one nice thing about ad drop periods being quite as long as they are. By that point, you generally know. So, yeah. Honestly, I definitely still know that I would prefer teaching in person. I've just seeing, and I admit, I guess synchronous online teaching would be different, but asynchronous online teaching, trying to put all of that together and trying to manage timelines, and I crave that in-person interaction. So, especially teaching, I would that one. So it's a difficult time. There's a lot of things to work through, and there's a lot of things to keep in mind. Best thing that we can do is just take one little thing at a time, take our pleasures where we can get them. It's one of the reasons why I like streaming. I love just twice a week getting to sit down with you guys and just play games that are ridiculous. And just have all of that, all of this fun, even while, keeping everything safe and connecting friends of mine from all over the globe, really, in some small way at least. So, it's important to keep these moments in mind, and important to take time off when we can. That last week that I took on the beach was really needed, even though it was not the beach vacation I had wanted, and was not the experience that I had expected, but it was still necessary. And even so, even with that relaxing, I still sleep all the way up until I start work every day. I start work at 10, and my alarm is set for 10. So, little steps, one thing at a time, getting back into things. Each day is a new day, and each new day brings with it new challenges that we can take on a little bit, chip away at it if we can. For me, that can mean once weather stops being complete shit, I can start exercising again, just a little bit, taking my bike out. I really need to, especially start biking to work when that starts happening again. Fucking dying every time I go. So, anyway, it's almost 1 o'clock now, so I'm gonna have to sign off tonight. But I hope this was a little helpful, and I hope this helped you feel a little better about what you might be facing. I know it seems really, really scary, and there's a lot of unknowns, but there is another side to everything, and we will get through it, and we will get there. It's really easy in the moment to feel like this is the end of the world, but I take some level of solace in that this has happened before. Spanish flu happened. 1918, 1919 pandemic was awful. Changed the face of everything forever. Absolutely. Architecture changed, how things are managed changed, public health changed. And there will be things that change after this as well, but some of it will be for the better, and some of it won't change at all. I think one of the things that bothers me the most is when I hear people telling me that, things will never go back to the way that they were, and, we'll never have things like bars or clubs or parties ever again. I'm like, no, we definitely will. Those things came back after every pandemic. I mean, communal dancing as a concept is as old as humanity. that's not going away. You know, so I'm glad that I was able to help just a little bit, and I'm glad that we got to have this chat. It was nice. So anyway, have a wonderful night, everyone. Stay safe and stay healthy. I love you all. You're going to do wonderfully, and you're going to be fine. Rest well, sleep well. Have a wonderful weekend if I don't stream before then. And otherwise, I will see you on Tuesday. But keep an eye out. Maybe we'll stream a little beforehand. I'm like on the verge of... Oh. Well, anyway, have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you all later. Bye-bye, my lovelies.